This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Thrown under the bus.
No.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
I'm not okay with that.
It sounded good when I thought.
Log on and join our live conversation.
Yes, I don't like that. You're 100% right.
DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. It is Tuesday, July 23rd. I'm here with Stephanie, Tori, Brandon, and I'm Sam. Let's get right to it. So what are you willing to do to help your neighbor? Well, this man's neighbors formed a human chain to prevent ICE agents from apprehending him. The man was with his 12-year-old son when agents tried to take him into custody. The resulting standoff lasted for hours. Eventually, the ICE agents left without arresting him. So, Tori, first, before I get your opinion, let's involve our viewers. Would you interfere with ICE agents? Go to dblvote.com to weigh in. We want to hear from you. Tori, do you think that you as a neighbor would get involved?
Yes, if I knew that personal agent. I have to be honest, a human chain has a lot of historical symbolic references, right? So in Denmark, when the Nazis came for the Jews, they all wore yellow stars as like one human chain to say, we're all Jews. You see human chains when they protect people from praying, Christians protecting Muslims from praying. A human chain is the best sort of form of civil disobedience because you're acting the most human you've ever been. So I think it's a beautiful image. I think it's fantastic. I don't know the details of this man, but these neighbors, black, white, they look all different ages. Beautiful sign.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful, Tori, but a human chain can get you hurt as
Very
well.
much so.
Because all it takes is that one ICE agent who's so determined to go in and grab this person that he breaks through, now things become violent. So if you're a person like me, and there's nothing wrong with that, I'm not going to form a human chain, but I will be one of those activists to help set up a GoFundMe program for that person who's going through it to get some sort of legal representation, or try and find other people in the community that can possibly watch these people's kids as they're going through the deportation stage and they're in custody. Don't feel emboldened to try and fight back at ICE because you've seen viral videos and you want to go viral and you want to stick it to the man.
But
that
remember,
can get you
the
hurt.
civil rights movement, you had people literally holding chains protecting from German shepherds going after black people. So there is an American historic context to a human chain in which you think this law is being administered illegally. I am going to be a stopping
There's
point.
Also a literal context.
Yeah.
When you look at the Bible, it says love thy neighbor, and this is the exact form of that. So, you know, we're going to have different opinions on this. I'm sure DBL Nation is too, but I think we can all agree that that is a beautiful sentiment, right? It's the best symbolism of compassion. Let's see our viewers say. 56% of you say no, you would not, but then again, 44% of you say you would.
Yeah, that's close.
So that speaks volumes. It really does.
Can I put a button on this? That 56% doesn't mean you're a bad person, because you can start that GoFundMe. You can babysit
There's
those
other
kids.
ways to do
it's just, yeah, you wouldn't do it that way.
Right.
Exactly.
Well said.
Yeah.
So we want you guys to see this next video of a courtroom in Ohio. It erupted into chaos yesterday after a former judge was sentenced to 6 months behind bars. The woman actually goes limp as she was dragged out of the courtroom by a bailiff. She was found guilty of helping her brother, who is a county employee, keep his job. So most of her, her supporters would say that this was, because there's so much context to the story. We just always on DBL, we want to give you the full context because a lot of people are just watching this video and saying how abhorrent. This is a judge. You can't do this in a courtroom, so they're saying that this was a disgrace of her, right, to do this. So the people that support her are saying she's actually, this is her way of exercising her civil disobedience. This is her way of protesting.
Resisting, that's right.
Her supporters believe that this was retaliation against her. She's the first black woman Democrat to fill that seat ever. So they believe that this is political retaliation.
Wow. Yeah, this is like a layered cake here. You see something, you think you know it. There is a whole lot to this story, and I think if the mayor is involved and is on her side,
and the vice mayor,
I'm going to be interested in hearing her story.
Yeah, because the mayor came out and said the punishment doesn't fit the crime, that she's already been punished professionally.
Lost her job.
Yeah,
right.
And it was a non-violent crime, so she's
why drag her out?
But a lot of people are also saying that the judge that sentenced her, that there could be some racism involved as well. And I don't want to just throw that out there because I watched the live stream. I watched the replay of the live stream of people protesting in front of this judge's house, and they're saying that this same judge has
sentenced her
has let a kidnapper and rapist go free. But this was a non-violent crime, and this judge has to serve time.
That's a caveat that I think, again, people need to really think about. So if you don't believe that a rapist or a kidnapper, allegedly, isn't able to go to jail, but you believe someone that did a nonviolent crime should go to jail, where is there a bias there? There seems to be one.
Absolutely.
So
this is a story that will have legs, and I think we'll keep seeing this.
I think so too.
Investigation, and you don't drag a judge like that out of a courtroom without some follow-up on that.
So we shall see. And if you're in that city, please, DBL Nation, let us know the heartbeat, so to speak, of what's going on in that city. So it is official. Britain now has a new leader. Our very own Stephanie Jones has been texting her friends all morning. Let's get to Kelly Schuberth with the details.
Sam, Boris Johnson will replace Theresa May as the next prime minister. Today, he made his first speech as Conservative leader, and everyone's talking about his unexpected choice of words. Listen.
I say to all the doubters, dude, we are going to energize the country. We're going to get Brexit done on October the 31st. We're going to take advantage of all the opportunities that it will bring in a new spirit of can-do.
Everyone's talking about Johnson using dude in his speech. So here's the deal. His campaign slogan was deliver, unite, and defeat. But he said the DUD acronym wasn't great for an election campaign. So he added an E for energize to make it dude. Now today, President Trump sent a tweet congratulating his friend on the win, saying, quote, he will be great.
Okay, we have our resident Brit here. I know that you've been talking to your friends and your family all morning. What are you thinking, and what is the general consensus amongst at least your group of friends?
Okay, at least between my friends, this is giving everyone major anxiety. It's making people feel really nervous. What we do know about Boris Johnson, okay, when he was the mayor of London, he was absolutely phenomenal in my opinion, but he is very much a second Trump. Like a lot of people compare him to Donald Trump. His mannerisms, his policies, they're pretty identical.
His branding.
These two, let me even hold a side by side of them. I mean, look, they're pretty much the same person. They come from a similar background. They're both, been very lucky with their upbringing. But
look at their hair. They have the same hair.
Which hair is worse, you guys, honestly? Which hair?
This guy, well, they're both awful, aren't they? But this guy's like an expert hoodwinker, and he said some horrendous things that I would not want to be my prime. I wouldn't support him personally.
Yeah, that's true. In 2002, he spoke in an article in the Telegraph about blacks being flag-waving pickaninnies and their watermelon smiles. He's spoken about Muslims looking like letter boxes in burqas, and if you vote the Tory party, your wife will get bigger breasts, and you can get a BMW.
Seriously.
So very off the cuff, much like Trump. But again, notice this nationalism. He wants out of Brexit. We want out of certain places. It's become a very isolationist global community. Notice that it's spreading.
But, I think that's exactly what Toy said. He does want out of Brexit, and just because he is the new Prime Minister doesn't mean that we're not going to leave the EU. But what will be interesting is to see how he goes on to represent the country and the people after Brexit happens in October. So it'll be interesting to see what is he going to do then. And also, he's still going to have to be re-elected. He's only been given Theresa May's seat. He wasn't elected to that position. So the public can change it if they don't like it very soon. So it's not the end of the world, but it's just a sign of how tragic things really are.
And that is just Stephanie's opinion. I'm sure there's people in Britain that are celebrating, but it's nice to hear your opinion. So thank you for that. R. Kelly may be looking for a new crisis manager right now. The singer's most recent one, Daryl Johnson, resigned for, quote, personal reasons yesterday. A possible reason might be this interview Johnson did with CBS's Gayle King. Watch.
You have a 20-something-year-old daughter. Would you allow her to be alone with
Absolutely not.
With R. Kelly?
I wouldn't leave my daughter with anybody that's accused of pedophilia. Period.
So you would not?
I would not leave my daughter with anyone that's accused of being a pedophile. I would not.
But you're comfortable working for him?
Yeah, I mean, it's all good. When the checks are coming in and everything's good, we got the remix to Ignition, and you're aiding and abetting and no one knows anything. But then when the documentary comes out and stuff hits the fan, now everyone wants to distance themselves from R. Kelly.
I have to ask you guys this. Do you think he stepped in it here? Like, was he not ready to answer that question, or did he want to get away and sort of distance. It felt to me that he stepped in it here.
Well, he still deflected, right?
Yeah.
He still did not answer the question, but he still also knew, just as a human being, that as a father,
he wouldn't do it.
It was the perfect question from Gayle King to kind of capture exactly the moment that we just saw on TV. And I think Brandon hit the nail on the head. I think, unfortunately, and you said it too, in Hollywood, we see so many people glob on when people are at the top, and then as soon as they...
as soon as the ship is about to sink, we see them all jumping off. And you've got to think, his job is a crisis manager.
Oh, wow.
His job is a crisis manager, and look how he answered that question. He should have been so
because you know why, though? As a father, he had to...
It came out, didn't it? The instinct came out. You're right.
Being a father, it comes first.
I think it felt real.
It comes first.
And she said your 26-year-old daughter, not even your 13 or underage daughter, your 26-year-old daughter, and he's still answered.
I think he's been grappling with this. He's been conflicted for quite some time, and we just saw a little tiny glimpse of that. So
wait for the book.
How convenient, just as he's about to go to prison.
Yeah, well, DBL is live, and coming up in just a few, Bachelorette couple JoJo and Jordan are still going strong. They will tell our Stephanie Jones all about their new show. And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. It's the great laundry debate of 2019. Do you wash your brand new clothes before you even wear them? Your comments on that coming up next.
Hi there, DBL Nation. Happy Tuesday. Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending news for you right now. But I think we might go to the desk. Let's go to the desk.
So you just switch.
I know.
Is it good? He doesn't want out of Brexit.
He wants Brexit. Hey guys, so we're having a little behind the scenes now. The hosts are being briefed about what just happened.
Crisis manager, he's not
What's up, guys?
ship. He just made a mistake. He's still on the ship, but
I
now
think
he got kicked off the ship.
Well,
by the way, I kept saying Boris Johnson wants out of Brexit. I misspoke. I meant he wants out of the European Union and he wants Brexit because Brexit is Britain exit.
Yeah,
Brexit.
Yeah, exactly.
I apologize for misspeaking if that was crazy. Zoe Rose agrees with, or I don't know if you agree, but she says Boris Johnson was loved as a mayor, but he has changed since 2016.
Why did you love him as a mayor?
Oh, he was brilliant. He was brilliant for London. He was so much fun. He brought so much energy. He was around when it was like he did a lot of things for the Olympics. He got. Oh, sorry. It's okay. He also endorsed these amazing bikes like all over London to try and encourage people to not use public transport as much, to be more active and fit and healthy, and to save the environment. That's a really good question. I'd have to check. It was quite a while ago. It was like 5+ years ago, maybe 5-6 years ago. And he was a really great character, but like him running as prime minister is a completely different story. Yeah. Completely different story. Like he did lie a lot, and I don't know.
He's very off the cuff, and people like that, as you can see.
Yeah, it's like a rock star politician.
It is a rock star. It's the same thing, exactly.
What he's going to say, what he's going to do.
But that can cause things like stocks to go down because people get worried with that. Yeah. And that can cause wars to start. And like that's what you kind of want your politician to be super boring. Like we don't want to have to talk about politics on here because things are just doing things that are boring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to have to talk about tweets or things that make me nervous because I just want a boring politician.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm in a drunk driver car and I'm the passenger.
Welcome back to DBL. It is time for Fifth Host. When we talk about what you're talking about, washing your new clothes before wearing them could prevent you from scratching if you love the way new clothes make you look. Well, experts have a warning about how they might make you feel. A new report says dyes found in clothing fresh off the racks could leave you with a red, itchy, painful rash called allergic contact dermatitis. So DBL Nation, do you wash your new clothes before wearing them? Ooh, get right to it, Brandon.
All right, here we go. James from Facebook says, I never wash anything before I wear it, but this has me rethinking that. Me as well, James, because I've read up on this, and they say that some clothing dyes contain quinoline, and it's classified as a possible human carcinogen.
It is.
And it's been tested on mice, but not humans. I don't want to be the guinea pig anymore. I'm washing it.
Good for you.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm kind of in this boat.
Because a lot of people are making it about germs. It's not so much. I'm not a germaphobe. It's about toxins, and your largest organ is absorbing those toxins.
Yeah.
So there's fire retardants. There's a lot of things placed on textiles that are not healthy for your body.
I think I might be changing my mind. April from YouTube shames me, says, how can you not wash your clothes before wearing them? Gross. April, I didn't really know. I'm going to be honest. I'm very educated about a lot of things, but I was not educated about this. But as James and Brandon said, I think I'll be rethinking it. Maybe. I mean, a carcinogen, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Vicky from Facebook says, I'm guilty of never washing my new clothes, but I'm 58 now, so I guess that makes my immune system really strong. I don't think this has anything to do with your immune system because you're not actually inhaling it or digesting it, and it's a very different kind of, what's the word I'm looking for here? It's a different
absorption.
it's a different kind of absorption on your body. But what you guys need to remember is, I mean, I've done it before where I've just put on something new. I'm not a clothing angel, but you've got to remember that this fabric has been so treated and processed. It's been dyed, it's gone through chemicals, it's gone through so many hands and machines. It's then been transported from across the world to here, to then having assistants hanging it. Who knows if they've washed their hands or not? It's putting it on you, and then you're being surrounded by, your friends and family, and it's all contamination and a bit gross.
You're absolutely right. Beth from Facebook says, I wash most of my new clothes before wearing them. I never wash dresses and sweaters, but everything else, yes. Wow. I'm in the same boat as Beth. Listen, I should be washing everything, but when it comes to like a blouse, I tend not to wash it or dry clean it until after that first wear. So that's on me. But when it comes to sheets and underwear and sweatshirts, anything else, yoga wear, I do immediately wash it.
Wow.
I never wash my sheets, my new sheets.
What?
Oh, you have to wash your sheets.
You just jump into your...
You gotta wash the sheets.
You're not fully clean unless you're zestfully clean.
That makes no sense to me.
So that's why I'm going to get to the next comment. I'm deflecting. Wanda from Facebook says, if I buy something cute, trust me, I might leave the store with it on my back, literally.
Yes.
Hey, been there,
Tori,
Wanda, been there.
There's no better feeling when you go in, you try it on, you feel clinked.
Yeah.
Say it, Tori, feeling clinked.
Clinked.
No, there's no C. It's just a T. Clinked.
Clinked.
We got news at this moment.
Yeah, Brandon wants to move on. Sylvester Stallone is opening up about the future of the Rocky series. Raquel Villanueva has the news at the moment.
That's right, Sam. Sylvester Stallone revealed in a new interview there are 2 major Rocky projects in the works. One is a movie where he'd reprise the legendary character. In it, the boxing star meets a young street fighter who's not in the country legally. And there's also talks of a TV prequel series, but the biggest revelation Stallone made is shocking some of his fans. He does not own any of the Rocky franchise, even though he came up with the idea, wrote it, and starred in it. He says he's furious he can't pass the legacy on to his kids and feels like Hollywood robbed him of his own work.
Wow, that's the thing.
Yep.
Because he was up and coming. He did not have a name.
He didn't have anything. He was actually homeless at the time. He actually sold his dog. He was that poor. Wow. And then when he got his first paycheck, he went back and got his dog back straight away.
So he didn't feel he had any leverage.
No leverage.
He had
none.
But shame on that agent.
I know.
Shame on that agent. Because if you came up with the idea.
Right. But when you're a no name, Hollywood takes advantage of that. That's just the way it works.
You see it.
Not saying it's right.
And you saw it in music. A lot of people don't own their royalties.
That's why
you
Taylor
see it in
Swift's
football. A lot of the old professional athletes.
It's just taking advantage. It absolutely is an abuse of power. Coming up on DBL, JoJo and Jordan from The Bachelorette are back with a new show and a new spin on their relationship. Don't miss that. Plus, JoJo has a special message for former Bachelor Ben Higgins. Can't wait to hear it.
Hey Beauty Blasters, welcome back to another awesome episode of Beauty Blast. I'm Jeray for the Slay, and this is my beautiful model Lex. Today, we're talking a little bit more about red light beauty tips. Now, previously, I showed you guys how to get this beautiful slaying pink eye look with just using a lipstick. I'm gonna use the same lipstick, and we're actually gonna try out for a little blush as well. Y'all ready? Well, you better get ready. All right, guys. Now you're gonna take a little bit of your lipstick and you're gonna put it right onto your palm, actually. This is kind of different, I know, but stay with me. Lex, you mind holding that for me, girl? Thank you. Now you're gonna tap your palms together, and this is going to actually be your applicator, right? Take it right onto the apples of the cheek and lightly press right onto the cheekbones. This is a great way to get a soft amount of color, directly onto the cheekbone with a beautiful payoff, okay? Now we're gonna do the same thing. I'll show you guys one more time. Don't get too crazy, all right? Watch carefully. We're gonna tap right into the cheekbone using our palm. I'll use my other palm just to give it a little bit more magic in there. There we go, Lex. I love you, girl. We're gonna make sure you look extra flossy. There we go, queen. And that is such a beautiful and quick way to go ahead and capture a look with just using a single lipstick. Now, if we really wanna get a little crazy with it, we can always take that same lipstick once again and actually put it on the lips now. So I'm gonna take a little bit on a brush here, swipe it right on over. Ooh, yes, queen. You look like you're about to go right on out to EDC Las Vegas, honey, and go ahead and twirl her life away. Ooh. So cute. Now you guys, don't be afraid to try this with other lipsticks. You can use CoverGirl, Maybelline, NYX, whatever it may be at home. Find that one good old lipstick that your grandma gave to you and you haven't used since 1996. I swear it's gonna come in handy for you today. All right guys, that's gonna be all for us this time. Make sure you check out our next Beauty Blast to see if stashes are coming back. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Welcome back to DBL. Jojo Fletcher came in runner-up on Ben Higgins' season of The Bachelor, but found true love the next year as the Bachelorette with Jordan Rodgers, who's the younger brother of NFL quarterback Aaron Rodgers. Now, the couple is testing their relationship by fixing up rental properties in Cashpad. I sat down with them at Denver's Series Fest in today's DBL Spotlight.
Hey, Jojo and Jordan, welcome to Daily Blast Live.
Thank you.
It is so nice to see you both, looking very gorgeous, I must say.
She picked it out for me. I can't pick out my own clothes.
We just came from the beach, so this isn't a full-time thing, but thank you.
So tell me all about Cashpad. What is it all about? What's the deal? You've mentioned, you know, you've been getting dirty, getting stuck in.
Oh, I've always done rentals and stuff, but Cashpad is really about the short-term rental market. And Jordan and I, we team up, we partner with homeowners.
And we're creating a business for them and for us.
So who's more handy?
I dragged him into this.
I didn't realize that in the fine print was free labor for the rest of my life. We like to jokingly say, I'm JoJo's construction therapist.
Oh my gosh, and it is so true.
Okay, so right, I've got a picture of you guys on your projects, and I want you to tell me what's going on here.
Uh-oh.
What is happening in this moment?
So we're renovating a property, and you know, the property came with a lot of character, a lot of charm, and there was these beautiful countertops in the kitchen. But in the back of my mind, I always felt like we needed to keep this piece.
But in the back of her mind, she didn't bother to share that to anybody or me, so the piece kind of found its way into the dumpster. So I jumped into the dumpster and I ended up finding some of it left, but I tell you what, lost my balance, fell back onto a piece of wood that had multiple nails sticking up.
That is true.
Listen, you cannot script that, so if anyone thinks there's any part of this show that is scripted,
It hurt.
that is
That was not scripted. I wouldn't have signed up for that.
You were like, this was not part of my contract.
Yeah.
And I've got a message for you.
For me?
For you.
Okay.
From former Bachelor Ben Higgins.
Oh.
So I'm looking at you like, please don't be upset with me.
Oh, I
for
love
reading
Ben.
this.
I love Ben.
So Ben's a very good friend of the show. He comes on Daily Blast Live all the time. He says, Jojo, you've always been a leader and a powerful force in the world. You'll be successful with anything that you touch, which I think is really
What a
sweet.
sweetheart.
Very
So
sweet.
do you have any words you'd like to give back to Ben?
Ben, thank you. You are amazing. You are a gentleman, and I really appreciate it.
And we need to get together sometime.
And we need to get together sometime.
Yeah.
Congratulations, guys, on Cashpad. We're super excited. It'll be awesome, guys. I can't wait to see you in action.
Thank you.
You can watch Cashpad tonight on CNBC. We'll be right back.
Hi, DBL Nation. I just revealed a pretty shocking story in my At This Moment about Sylvester Stallone saying he doesn't own any of the Rocky franchise, which seems kind of unbelievable at the moment, but it's in a Variety article that was just published today, and you can read all of it. I'll read little excerpts to you. He said he was told no by his lawyer at the time, and that he doesn't have any stake in it because they took their chances. He's not entitled to it, even though he wrote it himself. Well, you could also ask, in 2006, he came out with Rocky Balboa. Why didn't he try then? Well, he says at that point he was in a slump. like he wasn't really getting any work, so he felt like he was in a weak position to ask for anything. And back in the other times, he says he didn't really push it because he didn't know how it really worked, and he didn't want to ruffle any feathers, and he admits it was a bad business deal. I mean, what do you think, DBL Nation? Does this shock you? Do you think they should give him some stake in it? Should rules change that someone who comes up with the idea gets ownership of it? Because like we said, we are seeing this now with Taylor Swift and her original masters. So let me know, and I will talk to you next break. Bye.
Welcome back to DBL. There's a major mystery in New York right now. This In-N-Out burger was found on a street in Queens. It's a double-double for anyone who knows the popular West Coast burger chain. But here's the thing. The closest In-N-Out burger is 1,500 miles away. So how the heck did this burger find its way to New York, huh?
So there's a theory going on in the YouTube comments, and I just want to say of our DBL Nation that perhaps this is a PR stunt and they are bringing an In-N-Out to New York.
That's so smart.
That is so smart. One In-N-Out burger,
that is
freshly grilled,
so
on the
smart.
street, and then now we're all talking about
That's
it.
a West Coast chain. Stay out there. Carl's Jr., all those, stay out there to the West Coast.
It definitely
Double in on Animal Style is the best thing you'll ever have.
I think people in New York will be so excited to have this.
Bad.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we're divided. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Hi guys, Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital team. There is a fast food debate now going on in the studio, of course. Let us know in the comments, do you like In-N-Out? What do you like? Let us know if you think In-N-Out is actually coming to New York. That's a good theory you guys have going on there. But I've got a trending story for you right now. Guess who's going to try to be in the Summer Olympics in Tokyo 2020? Shaun White. Of course, you know him from the Winter Olympics and snowboarding. Well, skateboarding is just as big as part of his life, and skateboarding is now a new competition in the Olympics, which is awesome. They've just added that for Tokyo 2020. So what do you think about Shaun White not only trying to be the best at snowboarding, but also the best at skateboarding? Keep in mind, I want to get this exactly right, he does, let me get to it right here, he does have the record for X Games in skateboarding. So it's not like he doesn't know how to skateboard. Obviously, that's been a big part of his life, and he says it's been a big part of his life, and so that's why he wants to try to be the best at both. What do you think about this? I do want to give you the record holder. Betty Egan is the first person who won in 2 different Olympic sports, in boxing in the 1920 games and bobsled in the 1932 games. So super interesting. If Shaun White could be the second person to do this, let us know if you think he should be. Bye.
We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You think this hair just naturally stays like this?
Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It is Tuesday, July 23rd. I'm here with Erica, Jeff, Al, and I'm Sam. Let's get right to it. So what are you willing to do to help your neighbor? Well, this man's neighbors formed a human chain to prevent ICE agents from apprehending him. The man was with his 12-year-old son when agents tried to take him into custody. The resulting standoff lasted for hours. Eventually, the ICE agents left without arresting him. So DBL Nation, we want to hear from you. Would you interfere with ICE agents? Go to dblvote.com, weigh in. I think this is a beautiful form of civil disobedience, especially just seeing, you see people of different color, you see, could be Republicans, could be Democrats, and then there's the Christianity literacy in it, love thy neighbor. So I think, despite what anybody thinks, it's beautiful imagery.
I mean, it is beautiful imagery. I don't know what I would do in this situation.
Because it could escalate very quickly. Now, this situation did not, but it could.
Yeah, and I mean, you can't really tell like the ages of some of the people involved. But I mean, I agree, it's a very beautiful image, but at the same time, we see how things like this can go terribly wrong.
Isn't this like interfering with government business?
Yeah.
I'm going to be perfectly honest.
I
got a new earpiece and I hate it. So
yeah, take it out.
Taking it out.
Take it out.
So yeah, isn't this illegal? Like, because you can't interfere with an officer trying to do his job. I don't know if they have the same jurisdiction as an ICE agent. I don't know the rules.
We've seen other people get arrested. We saw there's a very viral video right now of a Catholic nun who tried to protest by reaching out to some individuals that were about to be apprehended at the border, and she ended up getting arrested. So you do see it as interference. Many people believe that, this is their time to exercise their civil disobedience by protecting their neighbors.
Would you go to jail for thy neighbor?
I guess it depends how close I am to that neighbor.
They have. And it's a decision that I'm sure that a lot of those people that went to jail knew that they were making. When you went and marched in certain civil rights protests, when you went and marched for women's suffrage, when you went and marched against the Vietnam War, anything that people have done and have literally put their lives on. We lost 4 students at Kent State. You forget, like, when other people have guns and you don't, and you form a line, things can go poorly very quickly. So I think it's a decision that everybody's making, and I think hopefully, at this point, they're going there with their eyes open, understanding this is illegal and understanding there could be consequences.
Yeah, I just don't know if that's, for just me personally, having 2 young children and a wife that stays at home.
Yep.
I don't know if that's the best answer for me.
Exactly.
Hey, thy neighbor's cool, but thy house is nice too.
Yeah,
and I think, people need to understand really quickly before we move on. It's, when you see the viral image that we just saw, which is very beautiful, it's important to not act irrationally, because it could not be a very happy ending for many of those individuals. So yeah, just make sure just make sure that you're strong in your conviction and you know exactly what you're in for. Let's see what our own DBL Nation has to say. So this is close. This is interesting. 51% of you would interfere. That's a yes, and then we have 49% of you that say no. So that's very interesting. Thank you for weighing in. Okay, I want you to see this next video of a courtroom in Ohio. It erupted into chaos yesterday after a former judge was sentenced to 6 months behind bars. The woman actually goes limp as she was dragged out of the courtroom by a bailiff. She was found guilty of helping her brother, who is a county employee, keep his job. So this is an interesting story because, again, on DBL, we always want to provide context. And I know a lot of people are sharing this video on social media saying, you know, you're supposed to have decorum, especially as a judge. Here she's being dragged out of the courtroom. But in reality, if you look at what her supporters are saying that she's the first Black woman Democrat, first Democrat. So let's even take the fact that she's a female, the fact that she's a minority out of the picture. She's the first Democrat to take that seat in over a century. So since they began having judges in this area. So her supporters are saying that this is political retaliation and retribution, and that is her exercising her most respectful form of protest. So I just want to provide that additional context so our viewers understand why her supporters are so upset. And that includes the mayor, the vice mayor, the councilmen. So it's interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting because we've had a lot of conversations about our judicial system and certain judges who have been called out for certain things like traumatizing rape victims, being biased in other ways. So I can understand why people are feeling like she was targeted when clearly there are some other issues going on in our judicial system that something that's a fourth-degree felony.
Yes.
For
helping out. She claimed she didn't help out her brother. Apparently, it involved before he went to a hearing. She got some paperwork, gave him that paperwork. She's denying that even happened, but she was convicted for it. But is that worthy of jail time when the judge that sentenced her has not given jail time to somebody that kidnapped, to somebody that raped? So the judge that did sentence her, why would he sentence her to go to jail for a nonviolent crime when there was violent crimes that he was able to just dismiss? That's where it gets really murky to me personally.
Yeah, and I don't know enough about this to be perfectly honest, but there is a lot of inside corruption. I'm not saying that's what's going on here. I am saying that's what's going on in our government in general.
Yes. Yeah.
So, I mean, they do need to clean house once in a while. I don't know if this applies in this specific case, but there is corruption inside, and they do need to clean that out.
Can you imagine, though? You just lost your job. I'm not saying if she did help out her brother that it's right. I'm not condoning that. But do you really just throw people in jail?
Well, that's the first of all, Sam, I think the optics of that were more important to that judge that sentenced her than anything. Like, this is what happens when you cross certain people in this city. That's what that was, that you will be dragged and taken kicking and screaming to jail, because we don't see that with a lot of judges that have done egregious things. And
she didn't kick or scream.
No, but I'm saying we haven't seen them dragged away. The judge that told somebody's daughter to block their body parts, he's probably at Starbucks right now. So it's interesting when we pick and choose when to live by the letter of the law. But I think, Sam, you open up a bigger conversation about, 1 in 4 people that's in jail in the world is here in the United States. Is this the country that we want? Is this what we want from our judicial? Because every comment we get over any story is lock them up. Yeah. Put them in jail for anything, whether it's a mom putting her kids in a different school system so they have a better chance. Put her in jail for 3 years. If it's a guy with too many parking tickets, throw him in jail. You're ruining people's lives when you do this, and we need to understand that. When you throw people in jail, when they have that on their record, you are forever giving them a detriment on their. It's a scarlet letter. It besmirches their entire career going forward. Are we sure we want to do this? Are we sure this is who we are?
Yeah.
Just throw people in jail.
Yeah, I think it brings up a really
Meanwhile, Harvey Weinstein's at home.
Yeah, that's a great point. I know. Chime in, DBL Nation, please, especially if you're in that city. We want to hear from you. It's official. Britain now has a new leader. Let's get to Kelly Schuberth with the details.
Sam, Boris Johnson will replace Theresa May as the next prime minister. Today, he made his first speech as Conservative leader, and everyone's talking about his unexpected choice of words. Listen.
I say to all the doubters, dude, we are going to energize the country. We're going to get Brexit done on October the 31st. We're going to take advantage of all the opportunities that it will bring in a new spirit of can-do.
So everyone's talking about Johnson using dude in his speech. So here's the deal. His campaign slogan was deliver, unite, and defeat. But he said the DUD acronym wasn't great for an election campaign, so he added an E for energize to make it dude. Now today, President Trump sent a tweet congratulating his friend on the win, saying, quote, he will be great.
All right. Thank you so much, Kelly. R. Kelly may be looking for a new crisis manager as we speak. The singer's most recent one, Daryl Johnson, resigned for, quote, personal reasons yesterday. A potential reason might be this interview Johnson did with CBS's Gayle King. Watch.
You have a 20-something-year-old daughter. Would you allow her to be alone with
Absolutely not.
With R. Kelly?
I wouldn't leave my daughter with anybody that's accused of pedophilia.
So you would not?
I would not leave my daughter with anyone that's accused of being a pedophile. I would not.
Well, you know you're in a crisis when your crisis manager is selling you up the river, that's for sure. Because, I mean,
that's so real.
And people are saying, well, you know, obviously he has some integrity. He could have answered that question the way I would have answered it, would be, I wouldn't just leave my daughter with some man, period. I wouldn't do that. But he chose to go a step further and say he wouldn't leave her with someone who had been accused of being a pedophile.
So do you think that was a Freudian slip? Do you think that was conscious?
He repeated it twice.
Oh, so
he was very clear.
So do you think that he's been conflicted all this time?
Of course.
Completely conflicted, especially as a father, right?
Look at his face. This was his way out. He wanted out. And you know what? Even if you're his crisis manager, you're not going to have a good look. You know what I mean? It's like being a lawyer that represents someone that knows that they're guilty. You get that look being R. Kelly's crisis manager. And he wants out, and he wants to come out clean.
And Jeff, again, like you said, this is all alleged at this point. But that's his crisis manager / his attorney, I believe, because we've seen that gentleman before. So that means every piece of evidence that's presented against R. Kelly, he sees it. Every piece of videotape that the public hasn't seen. Every piece of alleged, testimony from these young people he's seen and heard, and he's a human being just like all of us, and looked like a human being that's at his end.
Right, yeah, wow. Well, apparently he's not his attorney, I'm just being told, but he's crisis manager, but does work closely with his attorney.
Right, we've seen him several times on the show, at least.
Yep, so, well, no longer will he be affiliated with R. Kelly. DBL is live. Coming up in just a few, a guy sends his ex-girlfriend a lengthy and loving text right before he's supposed to marry another woman. Why some are saying it was a bit much. Plus, Bachelorette couple JoJo and Jordan are still going strong. They tell our Stephanie Jones all about their new show, and you, the viewer, are our fifth host. It's the great laundry debate of 2019. Do you wash your new clothes before you even wear them? Your comments about that coming up next.
Hi there, DBL Nation. Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital team. I think we're going to go to the desk and chat with our host. Let's go.
Maybe because, I don't know, it's just too
Hey,
weird.
Erica. Hey, Al.
Like
Hey,
having
John.
Sam here,
What's
too.
up?
It,
What's going on?
Kind of ruins my hearing, so.
Eric, I have a question
we'll just
for
do
you.
this, and then we'll just get that.
Have you ever heard of a crisis manager?
Yeah, this is fine.
Yes.
Really?
It just doesn't fit,
Is it
you know what I mean?
different than a PR person?
Yes.
Don't lose that other one.
So a crisis.
I've heard of crisis PR.
All right.
Yeah, no,
Okay, cool.
crisis manager. Well, I guess, yes, it would be the same as a PR person, but a PR person isn't necessarily a crisis manager. A crisis manager would be a PR person.
Okay.
Would crisis manager be a crisis for the public? Like
if you
like
sold
print
baby
and
food
news?
and was getting people sick, you would hire a crisis management firm to spin the story out.
But like for the public, is that what the crisis manager does?
I've only heard of crisis managers for individuals, but I'm sure that they have like teams of crisis managers for corporations. It's really like a fixer.
Right, yeah.
Like it's the Olivia Pope. He's the male Olivia Pope. Just got really fed up. Yeah, it's not, because I actually had a conversation. My brother owns a PR firm, and someone I know was looking for a crisis manager. But it's really hard to find crisis managers.
Yeah. Well, I would think
really
it'd be
hard.
lucrative. I mean, it's almost like, I guess it's a fancy word for a consultant. Somebody to come in and be like, okay, Jeff, what did you do?
Well, if you
know?
Don't you think if you're looking for a crisis manager, you're like, I'm in it pretty deep.
I think
I'm in
they'd
it pretty deep
probably
here.
contact you.
Huh? Okay.
Welcome back to DBL. It is time for Fifth Host, when we talk about what you're talking about. Washing your new clothes before wearing them could prevent you from scratching. If you love the way new clothes make you look, well, experts have a warning about how they might make you feel. A new report says dyes found in clothes fresh off the racks could leave you with a red, itchy, painful rash called allergic contact dermatitis. DBL Nation, do you wash your new clothes before wearing them? Oh, Al already has a strong reaction. Kick it off.
All right, Bobby on Facebook says absolutely. Let's think for a minute where the items have been and who's touched them. Bobby, we live in a world full of germs. I'm sorry to break it down to you.
It's not
but
about
look,
germs.
There's whatever. A lot of people have touched everything.
It's about carcinogens that are in those.
Where are you buying clothes out of a smokestack? There's no.
There's ingredients in clothes that are carcinogenic.
Well, I would hope the food. So washing them just gets rid of them?
Fire retardant in a lot of
I would like fire retardant on my clothes. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Erica.
Fafa from Facebook says, I wash underwear, towels, and sheets first, but when it comes to fashion, no. Fafa, I agree. I do the same with all of those items listed, but also I kind of use my discretion as to what I'm going to wash before and what I'm just going to put on my body, and that can be about where I got it from, the price point. There's a million different reasons why.
Yeah, I'm with Fafa too, plus baby clothes. Definitely
Yes.
Shannon from Facebook says, it's crazy because I used to wash all my children's clothes, there you go, before they wore them. Now I feel like a shower or bath after wearing new clothes is good enough. Well, I agree with you, Sharon, on the baby clothes thing, but if I get a new suit, do you think I'm taking it to the dry cleaners? Right. Absolutely not.
Yeah. I'm with you. I
have a new suit crease.
Yeah,
you know?
I feel you. I do. Tip from Facebook says, in a perfect world, I would wash my new clothes before wearing them, but it seems like all my shopping happens the day I actually need new clothes. I wish I had the time. Tiff, I'm with you there too. Listen, I'm going to sound a tad hypocritical after attacking Al, but when it comes to like sheets and sweats and clothes that I can be comfy in, I tend to wash those immediately. If it's like a nice structured dress, I will not wash it until I have to send it to the dry cleaner, so that's true.
I'm with it. All right. May from Facebook says, besides hygiene and health reasons, washing new clothing also softens the material.
Good point.
But May, I don't know. Maybe it's just a dude thing. Maybe it's just a dude.
What about your underwear? If you got boxer shorts fresh out of the packet, or your socks, you throw those in the washer first, right?
No, they're going right on.
Someone gasp.
I don't care.
Someone in this studio just gasped.
That's as clean as they're ever going to be.
That's a very sensitive part on your body, and it's full of carcinogens.
Stop with the carcinogens. There's no carcinogens down there. Trust me.
Brandon London, what's the chemical in it that has carcinogens in it? What is it? Quinoline.
That's in tonic water.
Wait,
that's not a real, no.
Brandon London did extensive research on what chemicals are in textiles.
Yes,
and
put your
Instagram
down and continue your extensive research.
Quinoline. Thank you, Brandon. Exactly.
Just because Brandon said so.
Thank you, Brandon.
Jeff, you don't put them on right after?
I pay like $20 a pair for my underwear. They're very special to me.
And what do you do?
I'll pop them right on.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeff.
If I'm getting a 3-pack of underoos, I'm going to wash them. But if I'm paying $20 for like a buttery soft spandex, they're going on.
That's right. Man knows his underwear.
Coming up on DBL, Vogue head honcho Anna Wintour is throwing major shade at one of the world's most famous women. We'll tell you who. And JoJo and Jordan from The Bachelorette are back with a new show and a new spin on their relationship. You don't want to miss that. Plus, JoJo has a special message for former Bachelor Ben Higgins. Ooh, can't wait to hear that.
Hey guys, Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending news for you right now, but it's time for Fast Blast, where I bring you all the news you need to know in under 2 minutes. Let's get that timer up. Here we go. We start with crazy video coming in from the East Coast right now. Millions of people are being slammed with rain, and it's causing major flooding and power outages. The flash flood watches are in effect from Knoxville all the way up to New England. Now, experts say if you're planning to travel in that part of the country by road or plane today, you're going to have major problems. Now to an important health alert we need to tell you about. A new study out from Harvard says we may need to rethink taking aspirin to prevent heart attacks or strokes. The reason? Researchers say for most people, the benefits don't outweigh the increased risk of stomach bleeding or other effects. Now, if you've had a heart attack or stroke, you should still take that low dose of aspirin, but the study found that 29 million people over the age of 40 were taking that daily aspirin even though there was no known heart disease. DBL Nation, it's important to tell you that no matter what this study says, you should always talk to your doctor before making any changes. Hey DBL Nation, remember that guy who scaled a 19-story building in Philadelphia during a fire last week? Turns out he wasn't trying to escape the flames. He was trying to scale up the building to get to his bedridden mother. Now, his name is Jermaine, and he tells a local news station that he got a call from his sister that his mom's building was on fire and that she was stuck. Now, Jermaine says he tried to enter the front door, but he was blocked by police. That's when his adrenaline took over and he started climbing the building and then scaled back down to get to his mother on the 15th floor.
Wow.
By the time he made it to her, he learned everything was okay and that the fire was contained. This is crazy. Jermaine says his mom was shocked at what he had done, but that she knows he'll always go above and beyond for her. Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. DBL Nation, you may be wondering why I'm singing this to you. It's because we can't play music on our stream. 4 months ago, none of us knew who rapper Lil Nas X was. Old Town Road has been on the top of the Billboard 100 chart for 16 weeks now, tying Mariah.
Welcome back to DBL. Jojo Fletcher came in runner-up on Ben Higgins' season of The Bachelor, but found true love the next year as the Bachelorette with Jordan Rodgers, who's the younger brother of NFL quarterback Aaron Rodgers. Now, the couple is testing their relationship by fixing up rental properties in CashPad. I sat down with them at Denver's Series Fest in today's DBL Spotlight.
Hey, Jojo and Jordan, welcome to Daily Blast Live.
Thank you.
It is so nice to see you both, looking very gorgeous, I must say.
She picked it out for me. I can't pick out my own clothes.
We just came from the beach, so this isn't a full-time thing, but thank you.
So tell me all about CashPad. What is it all about? What's the deal? You've mentioned, you've been getting dirty, getting stuck in.
Oh, I've always done rentals and stuff, but CashPad is really about the short-term rental market. And Jordan and I, we team up, we partner with homeowners.
And we're creating a business for them and for us.
So who's more handy?
I dragged him into this.
I didn't realize that in the fine print was free labor for the rest of my life.
We like to jokingly say, I'm JoJo's construction therapist.
Oh my gosh, and it is so true.
Okay, so right, I've got a picture of you guys on your projects, and I want you to tell me what's going on here.
Uh-oh.
What is happening in this moment?
So we're renovating a property, and the property came with a lot of character, a lot of charm, and there was these beautiful countertops in the kitchen. But in the back of my mind, I always felt like we needed to keep this piece.
But in the back of her mind, she didn't bother to share that to anybody or me, so the piece kind of found its way into the dumpster. So I jumped into the dumpster, and I ended up finding some of it left, but I tell you what, lost my balance, fell back onto a piece of wood that had multiple nails sticking up.
That is true.
Listen, you cannot script that. So if anyone thinks there's any part of this show that is scripted,
It hurt.
that is
That was not scripted. I wouldn't have signed up for that.
You were like, this was not part of my contract.
Yeah.
And I've got a message for you.
For me?
For you.
Okay.
From former Bachelor Ben Higgins.
Oh.
So I'm looking at you like, please don't be upset with me.
Oh, I
for
love
reading
Ben.
this.
I love Ben.
So Ben's a very good friend of the show. He comes on Daily Blast Live all the time. He says, Jojo, you've always been a leader and a powerful force in the world. You'll be successful with anything that you touch, which I think is really
What a
sweet.
sweetheart.
Very sweet. So do you have any words you'd like to give back to Ben?
Ben, thank you. You are amazing. You are a gentleman, and I really appreciate it.
And we need to get together sometime.
And we need to get together sometime.
Yeah.
Congratulations, guys, on CashPad. We're super excited. It'll be awesome, guys. I can't wait to see you in action.
Thank you.
You can watch CashPad tonight on CNBC. We'll be right back.
Promote.
We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Tuesday. First and foremost, it's your digital commercial break with B London. I think, it's almost a year since I've been here, DBL. You guys can call me B London now. That means your family. B London on the track. So we're going to go back to that fifth host. Do you all wash your clothes when you get new clothes? First and foremost, I would like to put our digital team on the spot. Mike Better, do you wash your new clothes before you wear them?
No.
So,
but I'll say no. I'll say no because where I live, I have to pay to do laundry,
You have to pay to do laundry, so it's not worth the extra $1.25.
It's $2.25 to do a load of laundry, wash and dry.
$2.25 to wash and dry, or just to wash?
Wash and dry.
Oh, I was about to say that's highway robbery. What about when you get your athletic wear for? I know you cycle and stuff. Do you wash your?
Oh yeah, I wash
athletic
that
wear?
definitely. That's like a couple washes.
Okay, all right.
What?
Rosin.
I always do.
You always. So is this like a guy and girl
I'm
thing?
a germaphobe when it comes to that stuff.
Oh, you're germaphobic.
It's one of those things where I just wash everything though.
Everything, but doesn't like did your colors fade? You know, because sometimes I mess up with if it's hot, cold, warm.
Yeah, I can see that argument.
So it's not new anymore.
It's definitely not new, but it feels a little better maybe.
Okay.
You know?
Let's go on to Kelly. Let's go on to Kelly. Do you wash your new garments?
My undergarments, of course, but if I get a new shirt at Target, I'm usually not going to wash it before. I feel like I should.
I trust Target.
Leo, okay, let me tell you what Leo says. Leo's in the background commenting, but let me tell you what he does. He'll buy a suit, and then he'll take it to the dry cleaner before he wears it.
Oh,
that's like a waste of money, right?
That's a waste of money.
But hey, I'm a germaphobe, so I guess I'm with Leo.
So you just shamed him, but then you said you're with him.
I am.
Okay,
I am
love it.
shaming him, but I'm with him.
DBL, we're real. Here's our camera guy, Rob. Rob, do you wash your garments when you buy them?
I say for the most part, but a lot of times I procrastinate, and the day that I'm going out, I'll go out and get a shirt and I don't wash it then.
I will go to the store, buy it, take the shirt that I have, throw it in the trash, and wear the new thing right out of the store. There's nothing wrong with that, right?
I don't think so.
All right, let's go to our guy Dave. Let's go to our stage director Dave.
We're all still alive.
You wash your garments when you buy them, your new garments. No. I think it's a guy and girl thing. I think women do it. You know, I don't. So you guys shame me today. I don't wash my sheets when I buy new sheets.
That's
Okay, that's dirty, but
Is that dirty? Why is that
wash your
dirty?
shirt, man.
You just got it. It's nice, nice plum.
Took the sticker off and wore it.
Bam, show the guns. It fits. It's there.
I don't know.
It's nice. DBL Nation, write in. Do you wash your garments when you buy them? We got more DBL coming up next. Stay put.
Welcome back to DBL. There's a major mystery in New York right now. This In-N-Out burger was found on a street in Queens. It's a double-double for anyone who knows the popular West Coast burger chain. But here's the thing. The closest In-N-Out burger is 1,500 miles away. So how the heck did this burger find its way to New York? Huh?
Can you ship, like, I love Portillo's, but it's only in Chicago, but you could ship Portillo's out here.
But then the question is, if you're doing all that to get your Portillo's here to Denver, would you then take a perfectly cooked Portillo's and set it on the ground?
You know what?
Like, you would eat it. Like,
Our
why?
DBL Nation has cracked this case. They believe that there's going to be a In-N-Out in Queens, and this was their way of marketing it.
You got all that from someone dropping their burger on the floor?
Well, it went viral. I think we're going to see
How do we know
In-N-Out
that picture
Queens.
is in Queens? Why isn't that in New York and you just said it was Queens? I think I debunked it.
There we go, Jeff.
Here's what's coming up next.
Brad, Leo, the stars of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, turn up the glam on the red carpet. But who's the pop icon who really stole the show? Then, a groom texts his ex, thanking her for showing him how to love a day before his wedding. Was it a sweet move or uncool to his bride? And kids these days. Actress Bella Thorne says she's pansexual. DBL is getting hip with the times and teaching you what that means when we come back.
All right, hi DBL Nation. I have two updates for you. One is concerning your health. So if you've been taking an aspirin a day for the last few years because it's been recommended by doctors and commercials, you should probably recheck with your doctor because some of those rules have changed. It's not a one size fits all anymore. It's more dependent on your actual health and physical shape. So definitely go see doctors for that because it's coming out now to just double check. And if you've never been told to take aspirin and you're just doing it because of the commercials, definitely consult a doctor. And then next up, is a story on the weirder side, and I want to bring Kelly up because I want to see her reaction to this. Kelly, are you ready?
I'm ready. What's going on?
Remember Storm Area 51?
Yeah.
Yes. There's a new place to storm. Can you guess where it is?
Oh God. Okay. Disney World?
I wish. No. It's. Let me give you. Let me give you a hint. It is not in the U.S. and it involves dinosaurs.
Jurassic Park? Is that a real thing? Tell me.
Loch Ness. Storm Nessie is the next place, which I don't understand what they're going to do. They're going to put on like deep sea gear.
Yeah, are they going to go into the water?
It already has 21,000 signatures. It's the new Facebook event. I feel like this one will be a lot harder to get to, considering you have to fly across the ocean.
Yeah, and like get some gear. You have to like spend a lot of money. You have to like get your scuba certification. You'd have to do a lot for this one. Oh, I thought Chris was coming in to comment.
Yeah. He just like
bye.
walked through. He's like, bye. Nope.
DBL Nation, what do you think of this? Are you signing up for this event?
Nessie.
Storm Nessie.
Do you want to find Nessie? I don't know. I think I'd rather find aliens before I found Nessie.
Oh, 100%. I would much rather find aliens. But if someone's going, I'd be down to know what you find out.
Put a GoPro on, please.
Yeah.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You think this hair just naturally stays like that?
Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
I'm Rick.
Yes, welcome to DBL. You just saw the trailer for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. The film premiered last night in Los Angeles. The stars were there: Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, and Margot Robbie. Singer Britney Spears was there too. She made her red carpet debut. Look at her. Her boyfriend Sam Asghari was with her as well. Well, there you go. I know that you're so excited to see this movie.
I'm very excited about this movie.
You've been excited since the very first teaser dropped like 9 months ago. I know. Are you going to the screening tonight?
What? What
There's
screening?
a screening tonight.
Am I invited?
A lot of the DBL people are going. You're not.
Can I get a ticket? Yes. I can?
Yeah. Are you gonna go?
I think I can make this happen.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I'm going.
Yeah. Are you?
Yes.
How come no one told me when I was excited 9 months ago?
Chris told us.
Well, apparently I missed that email.
We'll still be working.
Yeah, what time does it start?
No, not till 7:30.
Yeah, you're good.
Anyways, I heard something this morning about, because obviously you think of Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, like two of the coolest guys on the planet, right?
Yeah.
You know what they did like late night?
What?
You know, between takes and stuff, when they found the common bond in pottery. They both like to enjoy pottery. So when they were
They
upset,
should sell it.
they made bowls.
Pottery.
Or whatever they made. I don't know. I just see them doing the ghost thing, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we all kind of get into things, not like in our older age, but I think when you're young, I think everybody kind of all has the same interests. You know, you want to hang out, hang with your friends, meet some people, go to the movies, that kind of stuff. But as you get older, people get into different things. Some people get into pottery. A lot of people get into gardening. You know, people get into, I like to cook. So we all got different stuff.
Erica, what's your passion that most people, it would surprise most people?
I hang out in a radio station.
What?
You mean you're in your own little studio?
I made a radio studio in my house so that I could never get fired from another radio station.
And it is cute. She has it all decked out. I would want to hang out in there too if I had that radio
just sounds
station in my
like one of those stories you tell like your older auntie, just let her believe that. She's like, I have a radio station. Like, sure you do. They can hear me. I'm talking to Dick Clark is on the phone. I know.
I do the same thing I did when I was 12 years old. I pretend like I'm on the radio in my bedroom.
That's
awesome.
Amazing. All right. Well, speaking of movie stars, Sylvester Stallone is opening up about the future of the Rocky series. Raquel Villanueva has that news at the moment.
That's right, Sam. Sylvester Stallone revealed in a new interview there are 2 major Rocky projects in the works. One is a movie where he'd reprise his legendary character. In it, the boxing star meets a young street fighter who's not in the country legally. And there's talks of a TV prequel series. But the biggest revelation Stallone made is shocking some of his fans. He does not own any of the Rocky franchise, even though he came up with the idea, wrote it, and starred in it. He says he's furious he can't pass the legacy on to his kids and feels like Hollywood robbed him of his own work.
It's heartbreaking, but many other, Hollywood stars and even singer-songwriters will say the same thing. You have no leverage when you first come into the industry, and a lot of people take advantage of that. And it's a shame to see that he has no ownership in something that he created.
The story of him getting Rocky is crazy.
I
Tony
know.
Robbins talks about it all the time.
Homeless.
He sold his dog, and then they wanted to put him back in the script. They were only going to give him $20,000. He said no, held out. Long story short, he got what he wanted. He starred in the film.
And bought his dog back.
Bought his dog back for like $20,000.
I know. I know.
And almost half the money that he got. It's a crazy story. I don't have time for it. We got to go. But wow, what a crazy story. But he gave away all those rights in that process.
Right. I mean, famously, the guys that created Batman, two guys from Cleveland, Ohio, I believe they sold the entire concept of Batman for like $330 or something, which is what is a ton of money back then. Had him sign away all the rights, and then obviously it became a multi-billion-dollar franchise. And they never really made it right. They gave these guys a stipend like towards the end when one was blind and everything. But it's a really sad story. People have no heart when it comes to stuff like this.
Ethics kind of go out the door.
Read those contracts because they will try and get you.
Yep. All right, moving on. Is the Queen of Fashion throwing some major shade at the First Lady? In an interview, Vogue editor-in-chief Anna Wintour avoids all questions about Melania Trump and her style. Instead, she talks about former First Lady Michelle Obama. Listen.
Melania put together a much more put together way. She did come to the UK and I think very consciously wanted to see herself as an ambassador for British fashion. Do you value that?
First Lady Michelle Obama really was so incredible and in every decision she made about fashion. She was the best ambassador that this country could possibly have.
But she's not the First Lady now. So what about the one that you've got now?
And to me, she is the example that I admire.
What do you make of that?
Well, she probably doesn't. It seems like she doesn't like Trump or the First Lady. You know what I mean? So she wants to talk. A lot of people like to live in the Obama, Michelle Obama, Barack Obama era. You know what I mean? They thought that was the best time ever. And it's probably contrary to what people are living through right now with the Melania and Trump era. So if you tend to like those people, you tend not to like these people and vice versa. So I think that's exactly what she's feeling, a lot like our country.
Well, I also think that it's Anna Wintour, and anything she says can be an endorsement or it could be a lack of endorsement. And so she's very strategic about what she looks at, what she says. She takes inventory of her words. But I also think that there's no stronger thing than to deny someone acknowledgement. And to me, that speaks volumes.
But they said the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference.
Yeah. And many people, whether you like Anna Wintour or not, of course, some people are saying that Anna Wintour is insulting the First Lady, but many are saying, the way she didn't insult her by just speaking positive about someone else is actually a smart way to go about it, because you're kind of pigeonholed, right?
Sam, do you think she's just going with the if you don't have anything nice to say?
I think Anna Wintour dances to the beat of her own drum. I think Erica hit the nail on the head. This is someone, you guys all saw Devil Wears Prada. You know that was based on her. She could say a belt made out of tinfoil is the next fashion must-have, and that tinfoil would be sold out tomorrow. So I think her endorsement is so coveted and spirited that she has to be very careful with what she says. And I think she understands that. And so, you know what? Kudos to her. I applaud her. Right now, a woman's tweet is going viral. She posted a text she got from her ex the day before his wedding. It reads in part, "Thank you for being my first love. Thank you for always encouraging me. Thank you for keeping me out of trouble." He goes on to say, "I know we were only kids when we dated, but you taught me what love is. My point in all of this is you are the reason why I know how to love someone." So I know a lot of people are giving this guy flack. I find it sweet.
What?
No, you don't, Sam.
Come on.
That's weird.
It is a bit long. But
honestly, the first thing I thought when I saw this, I was like, my boy Jeff would not read all that. Jeff would get that text like, I'm skipping around on this one.
First of all, this was reaching out to see if he could have one more chance.
That's how
absolutely. That's exactly.
Sam, the two guys came to the exact same conclusion. Erica's making a face. She's making a.
That's exactly
Look
right.
at it.
He was reaching out to see if he could hold on to that relationship because he's not sure about the one that he has. I'm telling you from a guy's perspective what went down.
That's interesting. Oh, really?
Yes.
Now you're with me?
Wow, from a guy. Yeah, because guys, I mean,
Well, what am I, chopped liver? I said it too.
Listen, apparently his wife knew, and his wife also, I guess,
His
came
wife
from a
is
lot
in
of
denial.
trauma, and he never would have known how to love his wife today if it weren't for the woman before him.
So if your husband said that the day before your wedding day, sent that lengthy text message.
I did say it was too long. 3 sentences would have been suffice.
It was too
So
long.
the answer
It
is
was
no,
too
you would be
long.
mad.
I still think it's sweet, but it was too long.
That's not sweet, Sam.
No.
Oh, wow, Erica. So you said
That is not sweet. No, that
You
is
think he was
that is
testing the
major
waters?
complexity. Anytime I had someone reach out the day before my first wedding, and anytime
I shouldn't
someone
have done
does that, that is a power play, and it's trying to get you to make a power play. The fact that he could have said that a million years ago.
Yeah.
He chose the day before his wedding to write
The
that
height of drama.
Maybe he was mourning.
long
but
text
maybe
message.
He was mourning his old relationship.
He should have done that
A
before
long
he
time
got
ago.
into the relationship
You're right.
with the fiance that's going to be the bride the next day.
Yeah.
If she okayed that, she's boo-boo the fool too.
I think she just wanted to get married, and so she's like, "You consider that's super weird.
All right.
That would never go down.
Okay, I'm the odd
Never
man
go
out.
down.
Too many
I'm the
feelings.
odd man out. Chime in, DBL Nation.
Odd person, Sam. We don't see gender.
You're right. I'm the odd person out. Thank you very much, out. Speaking of which, actress and singer Bella Thorne is opening up about her sexuality. She tells ABC that she is pansexual, meaning not limited in sexual choice with regard to biological sex, gender, or gender identity. Here's what she has to say.
I'm actually pansexual, and I didn't know that. Yep.
Okay.
And somebody explained to me really thoroughly what that is. And
Explain that to me, because
I am pan. You like beings. You like what you like. Doesn't have to be a girl or a guy or, you know, he, she, a they, or this or that. It's literally you like personality. Like you just like a being.
And I think that is refreshing.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm a little blurry on the whole thing, so I'm glad she explained it.
It seems like the whole thing's
explained it a little
blurry.
bit. Yeah, because
seems like it's everything.
I didn't know you could. Okay, I'm treading lightly here, so stay with me. I didn't know. I thought there was just bisexual. That was it. So even if you're trans, you identify as male or female. I didn't know you don't identify as a person. Do you know? I'm not trying to insult anybody.
You're not.
No, I think, Sam, you said something earlier that I feel like you should say again. Sexuality and gender
are completely two different things.
Right.
Yes.
So, and I think, honestly, I think a lot of people are pansexual. When it really comes down to it, we have all of these things that we need to label because we're very uncomfortable with someone being overly comfortable with themselves and the idea of having freedom to not have to label themselves. By saying that she's pansexual, which is a label, I do understand, but it opens her up to being like, I can do what I want to do. We want people to be very defined and restricted because that's what makes us comfortable. She's saying, get comfortable with me making you uncomfortable, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I always question how uncomfortable it makes people. I think people are okay with certain things, like if Madonna kisses somebody at the Music Awards, like she did years ago.
When it's sensationalized.
The 3 women that kissed at the Music Awards, there weren't people burning down the streets when that happened.
It was gratuitous.
But yes. But I mean, people don't have, when people talk about I'm anti-gay marriage, they're not anti to a very attractive lesbian. That's not what they're picturing. Let's be honest. In Pornhub, their statistics will tell you people don't have a problem with 2 women getting together. Let's be honest. It's dudes. It's what you're interested in and what you're not. So I think there's a lot of people that are more pansexual than even they might know.
You should pay attention to the videos, not so much the analytics.
Yeah, I know. Wait till you get to the videos.
Yes. Coming up on DBL, we're going to blow your minds. You know what those little metal rivets are on your jeans? Or what about the hole in pasta utensils? We'll reveal the mind-blowing facts coming up next.
The next one out. Jeff, what do you think this one is? Go to the next one out. So you're just asking one host what they think. And then after the answers are revealed, we can all explain, or we can all discuss it.
Okay.
And these are fact checked. There might be other purposes as well, but you know, sometimes we say something that you guys don't quite believe. Just
Like
go with it.
always?
Yeah. Just go with
like
it.
research?
Yeah. We research
Thank
these. These
you.
are all good to go. Have fun with it.
Okay.
A doctor in...
They're only facts or science.
A doctor in Antarctica
let's read
tested
some of your
2 seals.
comments.
Get out of here.
Let's see. So, I'm up to date. Okay. Isn't pansexual just a cuter way to say bisexual?
See,
No, the
that's
difference is, so bisexual, you're saying that you're
Yeah, I
attracted.
think that's a fair
question.
No, but
yeah.
I think it's good. That's why I want to talk about it, because I'm not uncomfortable talking about that. I'm uncomfortable about saying something wrong and someone getting mad at me.
Right.
That's what it is. So I feel like we should talk more about that. I like her explanation of it, but I didn't understand it myself either, you know, when I
Right.
first heard it. But sorry, that's what I wanted to say.
So, you know, as I said earlier, you know, there's a difference between your sexuality and your gender. And bisexual, first of all, the term bi means two, right? So if you want to be, if you identify as pansexual, you're not limited to just male, female. It could be somebody that identifies as they. It could be somebody that identifies, or somebody that's a trans male, a trans female. And so it broadens your horizon of who you're attracted to while still being respectful of the different identities that these people possess.
I never thought about that, but that kind of does really reinforce your argument because everybody goes, I don't care what you look like, I care about the person. But like, if you're pansexual, you really are
Attracted
putting your
to
money
that
where your mouth
person.
is. You really
Yep.
are, because if it's literally open to everybody.
Yep.
Well, I think I'm watching Pose. And
I
you
started
also
watching
have to
that
consider,
this weekend.
you have to consider, so let's say you're attracted to someone who's transsexual, post-op, pre-op,
Yes.
creates a whole different category
Yep.
as to what your attraction might be.
Welcome back to DBL. The internet is going crazy over everyday products with hidden features like the little arrow on your gas gauge. While many people were surprised, me too, we're surprised to learn that it lets you know which side of the car to fill up the tank.
What?
Yes.
You didn't know that?
No.
My dad told me that. I was like well into my 30s.
My husband told me that.
I'm not even joking. I found that out in the last 5 years.
Me too.
I'm not
Same.
even kidding.
My husband like just told me that.
Mind blown.
And this is like somebody, I've been renting cars.
Yeah.
You're going to look every time.
Yeah,
It's like when you have a rental car, it really does help.
It
So you don't look
helps.
crazy at the pump. Yeah.
Yep. Where we are going to take a look at our favorite hidden features in a new segment called Mind Blown. So let's take a look at our first product. Okay, Erica, you're up first. The metal rivets on your pant pocket.
This one's interesting.
I don't know.
What's the hidden feature?
A loop?
I don't know. The metal rivets actually protect your pants from ripping at their weakest points. That makes sense.
Okay.
That makes perfect sense. Okay, you're up next, Jeff.
Okay.
The metal plate on the bottom of staplers.
Because of the electrical and positive energy.
I think I know
No. What?
I think because it kind of dips down, the staple looks like a half an H. So you have to get it so it bends around, so it makes the bow.
I highly doubt that's the answer.
On the bottom?
Let's see.
Yes.
If you flip the plate, the bottom of the staples will fold out, creating a temporary staple. Whoa. What? Wow, that is interesting.
I still don't get it. We could do that one again.
I think my explanation was long and rambling, but correct.
Okay, the H, you lost me there. Here's a good one.
You've seen a staple, right, before it's been used to staple something?
Yeah.
Okay, what does it look like?
It doesn't look like an H, it looks like a bench.
Like a
bench.
A half an H.
It looks like a bench.
It looks like a half an H. A bench is a half an H.
Or a bench that an
I would
ant
like to
could
do my
sit on.
question now.
Okay. Here's a good one, Al. Why are the letters of a keyboard arranged as they are, Al? Think, Al.
Because...
Don't wait for the prompter.
See,
Stop
I'm not.
rolling the prompter.
It's with typing. They wanted to make it easy. You don't use your pinky a lot.
I feel
so
like
they
the
put
most
the letters.
common letters are.
Yes.
That makes sense.
That's what I was saying. I said you don't use your pinky a lot.
That is
so
not what you said.
don't use those
the
letters.
The letter order was intended to slow typing down on original typewriters, preventing the metal arms from crossing and getting jammed. Oh, so you're both wrong. Okay.
Thanks, Sam.
All right.
We're trying.
Our next hidden feature is the hole in the middle of your pasta ladle.
That's easy.
Yeah.
Whose turn
so
is
the
out?
water comes out.
Yeah, you gotta get the water
You
out.
gotta drain the water.
I think that's too easy of an answer.
No, I think
more
it's
complex than that.
To drain the water.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. On many ladles, the hole helps measure out one serving of uncooked pasta.
Told you.
What?
Told you.
And who does that?
way.
I'm maybe like a real chef.
That is awesome.
No.
That's awesome. That's
But if
so
it was
cool.
to drain the water, that doesn't seem like an efficient way. There's the spoon that's got the grates in it. That seems like it's to drain the water, but that circle is definitely a specific size. So that's why I tend to believe that.
No, I'm still not believing it.
Oh, Jeff.
That's brilliant.
Why is that brilliant? I want more pasta. That's stupid.
Then you know the exact amount.
But then you got to know how much water.
Why should I limit myself on my enjoyment?
True. Well, that was our edition of Mind Blown.
I love that.
Love it.
That was really cool.
Coming up on DBL, the best investments you can start making right now that'll help you in the long run. Don't miss Dollars and Cents right after this quick break.
Hey Beauty Blasters, welcome back to another awesome episode of Beauty Blast. I'm Jeray for the Slay, and this is my beautiful model Lex. Today, we're talking a little bit more about red light beauty tips. Now, previously, I showed you guys how to get this beautiful slaying pink eye look with just using a lipstick. I'm gonna use the same lipstick, and we're actually gonna try out for a little blush as well. Y'all ready? Well, you better get ready. All right, guys. Now you're gonna take a little bit of your lipstick and you're gonna put it right onto your palm, actually. This is kind of different, I know, but stay with me. Lex, you mind holding that for me, girl? Thank you. Now you're gonna tap your palms together, and this is going to actually be your applicator, right? Take it right onto the apples of the cheek and lightly press right onto the cheekbones. This is a great way to get a soft amount of color directly onto the cheekbone with a beautiful payoff, okay? Now we're gonna do the same thing. I'll show you guys one more time. Don't get too crazy, all right? Watch carefully. We're gonna tap right into the cheekbone using our palm. I'll use my other palm just to give it a little bit more magic in there. There we go, Lex. I love you, girl. We're gonna make sure you look extra flossy. There we go, queen. And that is such a beautiful and quick way to go ahead and capture a look with just using a single lipstick. Now, if we really wanna get a little crazy with it, we can always take that same lipstick, once again, and actually put it on the lips now. So I'm gonna take a little bit on a brush here, swipe it right on over. Ooh, yes, queen. You look like you're about to go right on out to EDC Las Vegas, honey, and go ahead and twirl her life away. Ooh. So cute. Now you guys, don't be afraid to try this with other lipsticks. You can use CoverGirl, Maybelline, NYX, whatever it may be at home. Find that one good old lipstick that your grandma gave to you and you haven't used since 1996. I swear it's gonna come in handy for you today. All right guys, that's gonna be all for us this time. Make sure you check out our next Beauty Blast to see if stashes are coming back. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Budgetologist Felicia Jones is back in the studio, and we are talking investing in today's dollars and cents, presented by John Hancock. Felicia, always great to have you in studio. Thank you for coming back in.
Thank you for having me again.
Our first question is from Cass on Facebook. She writes, I'm in my 60s and I'm looking into other ways to invest outside of my retirement. How can I be smart about it, which is important? That's key.
Very important. It's very important. So when you want to get into investing outside of retirement, we're going to look at health savings accounts first. They're very exciting for me, at least I love them. They're tax deductible, tax deferred, and you can do tax-free withdrawals for medical expenses, and they're like a super IRA.
I love that.
Yeah, they're amazing. And so the next thing you can look at is low-cost exchange-traded funds. These are ETFs, and this is great for newbie investors and low cost of entry, and they're very tax efficient when it comes to gains.
So that would be something I could look into.
Yes, you could definitely start looking into ETFs. And then, of course, there are tons of investment apps out there. There are apps that will help you get educated about investing for the first time. They'll round up your change, or you could do automatic withdrawals right into investment accounts.
Really? Yes. I know a lot of people get weary about apps on their phone. Are there any that you could suggest for them?
I mean, we have so many of them, but you can always start with Acorn. That's where you get a lot of the education. And then you have Stash, which is also great for newbies and self-employed, so that you can start an IRA.
I love that. I love that for me and my family. I'm sure DBL Nation loves it as well. Felicia, thanks for stopping by. Always a pleasure.
All right, thank you for having me.
All right, guys. To submit your financial questions for the next Dollars and Cents, please email askmrsjones@dailyblastlive.com. And for info about life insurance and retirement planning, call John Hancock at 1-800-978-0663. We'll be right back.
We are up, we are live, we are coming to the end of the show. But first, it's your digital break with Brandon. Let's get to some more of you all's comments talking about everything today. Let's see. Margot says, staple is to make the staple larger for larger stacks of paper. I think they were talking about that, what was that? What was the segment we just did? Yeah, the mind hacks and stuff. Michael Loveland always writes in. We always appreciate the love, Loveland. Y'all are not going on Jeopardy, are you? Jason Anderson says harder to type. We're talking about the keyboard. Michael Loveland also says, or the hole in the spoon could be cut. Or the hole in the spoon could be to cut manufacturing costs. A billion spoons here, a billion spoons there. Pretty soon, you'll be talking some plastic. Jason Anderson again writes in, mind blown that these are mind-blowing facts. And Margot also says she agrees with Jess. The pasta spoon is stupid. Let's get to more of the, are there any mind hacks, Rosalind, that surprised you just now?
The pasta one.
The pasta one, yeah, I didn't know that
I didn't know
either.
that. Or the car. Even the car one with what side your engine or your
Gas tank is on?
Did
You didn't know that? Yeah, with the arrow. I didn't.
Yeah.
Well, I was just in Atlanta and I used my sister's friend's car, and it was like a Civic, like maybe like 2003, 2004. They didn't have it on there. They didn't have the arrow on there, which I thought was weird.
Yeah.
Wait, they didn't have it on the dashboard. Maybe when you go to push the little door thingy for I think maybe it had it on that. A lot of people are agreeing with you, Jeff, about the pasta spoon. Margot says it's stupid. Yeah, it's stupid. And Margot's been on your side recently.
Yeah.
My team Margot is team
I feel
Jeff.
like she threw a couple jabs at me, Margot.
Yeah. So
earlier this year.
Welcome back to Jeff's good graces. It's a great place to be.
I don't think they all have that though, because I have a pasta scooper and it just has like lines so the water drains out.
I have that one as well.
You know?
Us common people, we have that.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. All you fancy people with your holy strainers and stuff.
And why do you want to limit your portions?
Yeah, it's eat pasta. Eat it. You work out to eat. You eat to work out. So eat as much as you want.
And why isn't that offensive to some people?
What?
Having a portion control thing.
Yeah, you see the government, you see the FCC,
Remember the plate
everyone.
thing we did yesterday?
With the portion control.
Yeah.
Yeah. How come there's no outrage in the comments right now?
Yeah, about portion control for pasta. What are you saying? I don't know how to control my portions?
Yeah, I can have as much pasta as I want. He's Italian. They love the spaghetti.
You can't just eat a little bit of pasta. You got
a lot of that.
If you're gonna eat pasta and binge, you gotta go for it.
Do you all do your family put sugar in their pasta sauce?
No, we don't.
Okay.
My grandma doesn't.
Does that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I gotta check, but I don't think my grandma did. No.
All right.
Yeah, she made her own sauce. But that might be a lot of people do that. I see that even on like shows and stuff. All right. Just depends, I think, what part of Italy you're from.
Send in you guys pasta recipes. Why not?
Ooh.
Spaghetti sauce recipes. Why not?
Always good to have.
All right.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. What do we have, Erica?
We do. Sorry. I'm having some technical difficulties. Yes, okay. So regarding the ICE story, Kenya on Facebook, 11 Alive Atlanta, says the handling of illegal immigration is disgusting. Find a more humane way. Where Vince on Facebook and WBIR Channel 10 Knoxville says, to me, that is obstruction of justice. Put them all in jail.
Yeah, I mean,
two different ways to handle that.
Yeah, and those are two, believe me, the nation is divided. So
Yeah.
those very two comments represent, I think, it's a microcosm of exactly how we feel in this country.
But, yeah.
It's so polarizing.
And that is true, but I see something different. Like, most of us don't even know who our neighbors are. And the fact that these people would come together as a community in order to protect their neighbors shows you a place where people actually do love thy neighbor. And that's more than just a quote.
Yeah, right. I know, it's beautiful. It really is. No matter what side of the aisle you're on, seeing that is it's absolutely the best form of compassion. So we will see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Have a great day, everybody. Take care.
Just ran into the the chair. Did you guys see that? I hope you didn't catch that.
I saw.
Kelly Schuber's here with Big Jeff.
What's
Big
up?
Jeff, what did you think of Big Brother on Sunday night?
Oh, we're doing Big Brother?
Yeah.
I thought we have to wait till our Thursday.
No, that's Friday.
Or wait till Friday.
DBL Nation, are you listening to our podcast? I know a lot of you downloaded it.
You got to want them wanting more.
Okay, but we're giving
So
a
if we
little
talk about it
preview.
all the time,
Little preview,
people are going to
Jeff.
tune in.
Big Jeff, yes, they will.
I'm sticking with my guns on
They're
this
all
one.
going to tune in for me anyway,
Yeah.
so let's be honest.
If you want to hear what we
Just
have
kidding,
to
you're all
think,
tuning
tune
in for
in
this guy.
to Friday.
So are you going to go to the screening tonight for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
I just text Jordan to see
Yeah?
if it's okay. Isn't it
Oh,
sad?
That's
This is
not
what my
sad.
life
Oh, no,
has
that
come
is not
to.
sad. She's taking care of your kids at
Right.
home all day. I think it's responsible of you to ask if you can go.
It is responsible, but inside it's a little sad.
No, you love her. You want to get her approval and make sure she's okay.
But to go to the theater?
It's a 3-hour movie. It's long. We're going to be tight
I'm not
tomorrow.
going to tell her that.
Yeah, no, don't tell her that, but you'll be home a little late tonight. Kids will already be asleep, though, so it's okay. Jordan,
I know.
if you're watching,
She's with them all day. I
I'm
don't
on
know.
your
We'll see.
side. But yeah, so I'm excited about the movie tonight. Since you don't want to talk about Big Brother, we'll talk about the movie. Everyone's dressing up as either their favorite Quentin Tarantino character or from the 60s, 70s, that time. So I'm going to be Mia Wallace
I'm going to have
from Pulp Fiction.
I'm going to have blue shorts on with gym shoes and my white V-neck that I wear every single
So
day.
you're going to be in the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood movie.
Yeah.
You'll look like you're from the 70s.
And
Great.
I was just reading the comments right now, and someone's like, "Is Big Jeff really Italian?" I'm half Italian, half German. Just to answer.
Italian. Remember in that one movie, Quentin Tarantino? No. Okay.
Is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. It is Tuesday, July 23rd. I'm here with Tori, Jeff, Al, and I'm Sam. Let's get right to it. So what are you willing to do to help your neighbor? Well, this man's neighbors formed a human chain to prevent ICE agents from apprehending him. The man was with his 12-year-old son when agents tried to take him into custody. The resulting standoff lasted for hours. Eventually, the ICE agents left without arresting him. DBL Nation, we want to ask you, would you interfere with ICE agents? Go to dblvote.com, weigh in, let us know what you're thinking here. Jeff, what would you do?
Me personally, right now in my life, I have 2 young boys. My wife stays at home. I would
That's
not
your
interfere.
priority.
I
Yep.
would not interfere, and I would assume this would be legal. If a police officer was trying to apprehend a burglar, a criminal, a robber, I would not interfere with that either. So to each their own, do what you want. You know, I get it that they all live in a community and it looks like a knit community, I would say. But in my position in life right now, I can't afford to go to thy prison for thy neighbor.
Yeah, that's honest.
Yeah.
Tori, what do you think?
That's very funny. I don't have kids right now, so I think that's absolutely contextual. If I knew this person and was close to this person, and I felt also specifically that the raid was ill-timed or he could have been done with his lawyer, I absolutely would be part of the human chain. That is a symbol, if you go back, of protests long ago to now. We see Christians, Muslims holding hands, making sure Christians can pray. We see people in the civil rights protecting their brothers and sisters. This has gone on as a human chain, as a reaction to unnecessary force. Now, I agree. This can be seen as civil disobedience, and it could be illegal. So you are putting yourself
and it could escalate.
in harm's, and it could. But if you feel that is so important, as people did in Germany in 1960s, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah. Let's see what our DBL Nation has to say. 48% of you, wow, look at this. Yes, no, 53%. But that's a almost 50-50 there. So very interesting to hear that from you. Well, it is official. Britain now has a new leader. Let's get right to Kelly Schuberth with all the details.
Sam, Boris Johnson will replace Theresa May as the next prime minister. Today, he made his first speech as Conservative leader, and everyone's talking about his unexpected choice of words. Listen.
I say to all the doubters, dude, we are going to energize the country. We're going to get Brexit done on October the 31st. We're going to take advantage of all the opportunities that it will bring in a new spirit of can-do.
Now, everyone is talking about Johnson using dude in his speech, so here's the deal. His campaign slogan was deliver, unite, and defeat. But he said the DUD acronym wasn't great for an election campaign, so he added an E for energize to make it dude. Now, today, President Trump sent a tweet congratulating his friend on the win, saying, quote, he will be great.
Thank you, Kelly. Speaking of President Trump, many people are comparing them as far as their personalities, their backgrounds, their policies.
Hair.
Yeah, I think we have a side-by-side of the two. Their hair, their look.
If you don't know anything about Boris Johnson, welcome to someone who's very off the cuff, kind of a rock star politician. He's very much like Trump, where he's very not sticking to teleprompter. Now, in 2002, he wrote an article for the Telegraph in which he called blacks flag-waving pickaninnies, and we wanted to see them break out in their watermelon smiles.
Wow.
So he said some really horrific things, but everything about him is very, I'm not too educated, I'm the outsider, and that's very appealing. So he wants Brexit to happen and to leave and to be alone, and he is a mini Trump, basically.
With a little Gary Busey.
With a little Gary Busey.
Yeah.
Those comments you just read are completely...
Oh, it's outrageous.
But it just shows you how desensitized we are to those comments.
We just completely
kind of moved on. We started talking about their hair again.
I know.
He said,
I mean, that's 2 years of this administration.
He said if you vote for the Tory party, his party, your wife will have bigger breasts and you will have a BMW.
Okay.
No.
I don't even know how to follow up
and
with
people
that.
laugh, and that's, I'm glad people find this
now
funny.
running it, yeah.
While we're laughing, they're slowly taking away your food stamps. That happened today. No one noticed.
Yeah.
They're slowly taking it away, so enjoy it. Giggle it up.
Distraction, yeah.
Yeah.
Whew. Okay, R. Kelly may be looking for a new crisis manager right now. The singer's most recent one, Daryl Johnson, resigned for, quote, personal reasons yesterday. A potential reason might be this interview Johnson did with CBS's Gayle King. Take a look.
You have a 20-something-year-old daughter. Would you allow her to be alone with
Absolutely not.
With R. Kelly?
I wouldn't leave my daughter with anybody that's accused of pedophilia. Period.
So you would not?
I would not leave my daughter with anyone that's accused of being a pedophile. I would not.
Tori, is this someone who is backpedaling, or is this someone who is putting his role
I think that was front pedaling.
Yeah, or is this someone who's putting his role as a father first?
In my opinion, Gayle King asked the perfect question as a father, and his instinct came out, and he said it. I think he might have said it and regretted it because he didn't seem sort of prepared for that. But this is his real feelings, I think, his true heart. And he couldn't say no.
Someone just wrote, when you need a crisis manager, first of all, this one's funny too, when the crisis manager needs a crisis manager, but someone else wrote, now I just forgot what I was about to say.
I'll just say this, I honestly think it goes a little deeper than this. This guy's been on R. Kelly's defense team for quite a while now. We saw him, I believe, around this time last year, and I mean, he's been privy to read all the testimony. He's probably seen or at least heard anecdotal information about what's on these videotapes. And I think every human being has a limit. I mean, everybody has a limit. After a while, you have to kind of question, what are you doing? Is this the direction you want to go?
How do you get into the line of work as crisis manager? Who hires a crisis manager?
I think you have to have a couple of crises, and then you find out very quickly.
It's scandal.
Yeah.
That's scandal.
Yes.
The woman who plays Olivia Pope. Yes, she's a crisis.
But you can see when we have seen crises, whether it's with this, with a celebrity or with this administration, they do come out with a narrative and they stick to it. They're like, Al and Jeff were doing this and this is why, and they stick to it. And I mean, eventually, because of the news cycle and everything, people are just like, all right,
it's true.
It works. They wouldn't hire him if they wouldn't exist. It didn't work.
Well, he's no longer with R. Kelly, so there you have it. You've got to see this next video of a courtroom in Ohio. It erupted into chaos yesterday after a former judge was sentenced to 6 months behind bars. The woman actually goes limp as she was dragged out of the courtroom by a bailiff. She was found guilty of helping her brother, who is a county employee, keep his job. And of course, this video has gone viral. You all are talking about it because we never see a judge being dragged out of court. The juxtaposition of that alone is completely eye-catching. But apparently there's more to the story in the sense that her supporters do say that this was political retribution and motivation.
This seems like a very layered story that's going to have some legs. The mayor, as you said, the vice mayor is all on her side here. And she went limp in a position that said, I'm resisting this arrest. You've seen that in any kind of protest or sit-ins. That's what you do when you're just protesting it. And I think I've never, ever seen a judge be handled like that. They are sometimes seen as a bit in the ivory tower, a bit more than just mortals, and they have that kind of respect because we see them as that kind kind of a thinker, dragged out. I don't know if any nonviolent crime
and thrown in jail.
Deserve that?
Thrown in jail.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, and I think it was meant to be embarrassing. I
think so.
You know,
too.
I think the optics of that were bigger than even the sentence that she got. Whether she serves that sentence or not, we'll find out. But I think it was just that optics. That was somebody in the city letting everybody else in the city know this is what happens when you cross me. That's it right there.
Wow. All right. Well, chime in, DBL Nation, especially if you're in Ohio, I believe it was, right? If you're in Ohio, please let us know.
Right, my home state.
If you're close to that story. Yes, it was in Ohio. All right. Well, there's a major mystery in New York right now. This In-N-Out burger was found. Oh, yeah. It's the breaking news of the day. It was found on a street in Queens. It's a double-double for those of you who know the popular West Coast burger chain. But here's the thing. The closest In-N-Out burger is 1,500 miles away. So how did this burger find its way to New York, Jeff?
I don't know. I mean, I like Portillo's, and that's a Midwest thing, you know, from Chicago.
Do you ever bring it back with you?
No, but you could fly it out here. You could put it on dry ice. I have.
Oh.
Multiple times. So
you're right.
Why can't you just put some double, what are they called? In-N-Out burgers, double doubles, and just get them flown out to New York?
Well, they said it looked like it was grilled like 5 minutes ago, like they were still charring.
Yeah, but you cook it like you cook your...
After you get it on the dry ice?
Right.
So another theory is, that's really, really smart. Another theory is it's a PR stunt and they're going to move it in and out to New York City as a pop-up maybe, and someone took this picture and it just went viral.
That's smart.
You're putting your whole ad campaign on that somebody finds this smash burger?
No, you hire a couple influencers to tweet about it, and then
does In-N-Out have to do that? It's pretty popular.
But we're talking about
some underground, you know.
But from
like
West Coast to East Coast is a big jump for them, so maybe this is their way of doing it.
It's not a big jump. Everybody knows In-N-Out.
Not East Coast people don't.
They don't know. People in New York don't know In-N-Out.
People in East Coast, if that's...
So people on the West Coast don't know what Philly cheesesteaks are?
No, they do. That's a type of food. I'm just simply saying In-N-Out is a brand that's very West Coast motivated, isn't it?
Do you go crazy over In-N-Out burgers?
I do.
Do you really?
I don't.
Double animal style is fantastic.
I'll
They're
take Five Guys over that.
From the 60s. They don't freeze anything. They give great benefits. The mustard is fantastic.
Wow,
My buddies
you were really
used to
reaching
come
for that
in
last one.
and be like, hey, we're going right to In-N-Out Burger. I'm like, we're not going right to In-N-Out Burger. You could wait till tomorrow.
Tourist trap.
What? No, it's so good.
There are way better burgers on the weekend. I think Habit Burger's better. If you're
How
gonna
about
do
barbecuing?
Yeah.
It's way better.
You and the grill, man.
To barbecue.
It's you can make a way better burger than a mass-produced
Your
burger.
wife told me that
with someone with a weird hat on.
Yeah, that you loved barbecue too much. She told me.
How is that possible?
There's no such thing.
There's no, yeah.
That's what she told me.
Grilling too much.
I'm going to Jeff's
drunk.
house.
DBL is live, and coming up in just a few, a guy sends his ex-girlfriend a lengthy loving test right before he's supposed to marry another woman. Why some are saying it was a bit much. Plus, Bachelorette couple JoJo and Jordan are still going strong. They tell our Stephanie Jones all about their new show. And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. It's the great laundry debate of 2019. Do you wash your new clothes before you even wear them? Your comments on that coming up next.
Hi DBL Nation, Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending stories. I'm seeing if I'm going to get a thumbs up on whether I can come up there. Let me see if I can get that thumbs up. Hey guys, thumbs up. Come on, let's go.
I wash too.
Here we go.
Just so you know.
Let's chat.
We're gonna have a little chat when I get home.
Oh, let's get this. Oh, this. Come here. So Margot just wrote us in. Get this. We have a long discussion about the morning meeting. Have you guys tried Beyond Burger? We just were talking about this.
Beyond Burgers are incredible.
Everyone's
and
talking
even
about
more
it.
incredible are Beyond Burger sausages. So try the Beyond Burger sausages.
Where do you get those?
Whole Foods. They're like
Really?
kielbasa's. They're really thick. They're awesome. You put them in like a brioche bun.
A brioche?
It's my favorite. Like my husband and I probably have you love them too. The Beyond Burger sausages.
Oh yeah. I didn't know
Like
that.
you can get them normal or you can get them spicy.
Probably a lot of sodium.
Listen to this. Rachel Tansky says, look, I'm from the East Coast. I'd love to have an In-N-Out burger. I know of the chain, but I have yet to try it. I don't think my mom had ever heard of it.
I like their French fries.
I never knew about it.
Yeah, East Coast people really didn't know about it.
Is there an East Coast equivalent to that?
Well, we have five. Do y'all have Five Guys?
Five Guys is mostly a Midwestern chain.
Smash burger.
Smash Burger, yeah.
Like on the West Coast, it's Carl's Jr., but the
That's
same
Hardee's.
change
Is Hardee's.
Hardee's, right.
Just like White Castle is Crystals in the South.
Did y'all have Roy Rogers?
What?
Shake Shack?
You had Roy Rogers, did you?
Yeah, Mark wants to go to the screen. Those aren't
He does?
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
We have the meat.
He does?
He just texted me.
He said, I want to go to that screening.
He goes, how do I go?
They sell
And I'm like, I don't know.
Chili, in fact.
No.
Right?
Are there many Bob's Big Boys left?
I don't have the Bob's Big Boys in East Coast, I think.
They were in the Midwest.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right, good, I'm out.
I've been on
You know I'm
Bob's
in
Big
trouble
Boy
when
and in
I
the
put,
South,
hey, do you mind if I go to the
there's
screening? We could go together. Go.
Is that all she wrote?
Yeah. I'm in trouble. Something's a brewing.
There's a
Welcome back to DBL. It is time for Fifth House, when we talk about what you're talking about. Washing your new clothes before wearing them could prevent you from scratching. If you love the way new clothes make you look, well, experts have a warning about how they might make you feel. A new report says dyes found in clothing fresh off the racks could leave you with a red, itchy, painful rash called allergic contact dermatitis. So DBL Nation, do you wash your new clothes before wearing them? Al, you look indifferent. Take it away.
Ridiculous. Okay, Teresa from Facebook says yes. One time I didn't, and the color from the fabric came off, and it was on my skin. It was messy, and I'm sure toxic. Teresa, I'm glad you're still here with us to leave us that message. Look. Bad things happen on this planet. Not washing your clothes before you wear them is not one of them. It makes you stronger, like when you run into chemicals every once in a while. That's how you build your immunity system. That's why I never get sick anymore, Sam.
That's
I'm
not
like
true,
Thor,
Al.
but on the
Actually,
inside.
you get sick quite a bit here. You get sick. Number one, you get sick quite a bit.
When have I missed one day?
Yeah, you still show up to work, and I applaud you for that, but you get sick quite a bit. Number two, your skin, as you know, as a pre-med major, your skin is your largest organ. And you also know that textiles are riddled with, or filled with carcinogens, Al, and fire retardant, Al, and so your largest organ is absorbing those toxins.
I don't shop at places that have carcinogens.
That's
okay?
not true,
I
Al.
ask for carcinogen-free shops. That's what I do.
There's not a thing.
That's why I'm so healthy here at work, Sam.
That's not a thing.
It
I don't
is.
think it's a thing.
Look it up.
It's not a thing.
It's near the back of this book I have back there.
You guys
that
done?
Makes no sense. Go ahead, Tori.
You sure? Okay. Sakai from Facebook says, nope, it fades the color and you lose that brand new look. I tell you what I do wash, though, the rim of a soda can before drinking it.
Wipe
Most
it.
people don't. I gotta be honest, guys. I'm fully
rat urine and feces.
Look, I'm with Al on this. Everything in life is gonna have something. I've never heard of this. I don't wash stuff before I wear it. I think you're around public restrooms.
And you're sick a lot, too.
I'm fine.
The two people that get sick the most are the least
I have no issue.
hygienic.
I never get sick.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
What? When have I been sick?
Okay.
You get congested.
Yeah, you're
I fly a
congested
lot.
quite a bit.
I'm in a tube.
Okay.
Breathing recirculated air.
All right.
All right, let's get this one in. Michael from YouTube says, any rash not immediately identified goes into the bucket diagnosis of contact dermatitis. In other words, you touch something, you now have a rash. Michael, what the hell are you talking about? Listen, the more expensive it is, I feel like the least likely I am to wash it. If I get like a 3-pack of underwear, I'm probably going to wash it. If I get a nice pair of $20 ones in a box, no way.
You gotta wash your underwear.
No.
You don't
Not the
wash
good
your
ones.
underwear?
No. I don't. I'll be super honest.
That's gross.
It is?
You never wash it?
I wash my sheets.
Yeah, you have to wash your sheets,
Yes.
my kids' clothes. But if you get a nice suit, you think I'm bringing it to the dry cleaners?
I'm with you with like my structured dresses and all that, but your underwear, you guys?
A nice pair, $20 buttery soft spandex pair.
Right. Yeah, that's different. That's different than the cotton ones. The cotton ones can have bad things.
Okay. Macy from Facebook says, I only worry about heavy dyes and chemicals in jeans, underwear, and workout clothing. I don't think you have to worry about natural colored cotton fabrics as much. There are a lot of great organic cottons and hemp clothing where I'm sure you don't have those chemicals. But yeah, I don't wash like this, but I definitely wash my underwear right away, Tori.
Wait, do women wash their
Right
bras
away.
after every use?
No, not after every use. No.
Like how often?
I would say like
once a week.
Look at you guys trying to lock eyes to figure out how often you do.
No.
Once a week.
Yeah, I would say once a week you do like a nice little bag and just throw them in.
I feel like there's trying on though with women with undergarments, as with men there is none of that.
Women, you can try on undergarments.
That's
but
what I'm
there's a
saying.
That's why you
there's a
wash.
protectant sheet.
That's why I'm saying you guys should wash.
Sheet.
Stop using moving your
there's
hand like
something
that.
in there?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
disgusting.
Oh, it's horrible.
Oh my
it's
goodness.
horrible.
Does it? I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there.
It's like that free sock they give you when you try on shoes. That is disgusting.
Coming up on DBL, Vogue head honcho Anna Wintour is throwing major shade at one of the world's most famous women. We'll tell you who. And JoJo and Jordan from The Bachelorette are back with a new show and a new spin on their relationship. Don't miss that. Plus, JoJo has a special message.
Stop saying JoJo. It's annoying me.
Ben Higgins.
JoJo.
Hey guys, Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending news for you right now, but it's time for Fast Blast, where I bring you all the news you need to know in under 2 minutes. Let's get that timer up. Here we go. We start with crazy video coming in from the East Coast right now. Millions of people are being slammed with rain, and it's causing major flooding and power outages. The flash flood watches are in effect from Knoxville all the way up to New England. Now, experts say if you're planning to travel in that part of the country by road or plane today, you're going to have major problems. Now to an important health alert we need to tell you about. A new study out from Harvard says we may need to rethink taking aspirin to prevent heart attacks or strokes. The reason? Researchers say for most people, the benefits don't outweigh the increased risk of stomach bleeding or other effects. Now, if you've had a heart attack or stroke, you should still take that low dose of aspirin, but the study found that 29 million people over the age of 40 were taking that daily aspirin even though there was no known heart disease. DBL Nation, it's important to tell you that no matter what this study says, you should always talk to your doctor before making any changes. Hey DBL Nation, remember that guy who scaled a 19-story building in Philadelphia during a fire last week? Turns out he wasn't trying to escape the flames. He was trying to scale up the building to get to his bedridden mother. Now, his name is Jermaine, and he tells a local news station that he got a call from his sister that his mom's building was on fire and that she was stuck. Now, Jermaine says he tried to enter the front door, but he was blocked by police. That's when his adrenaline took over and he started climbing the building and then scaled back down to get to his mother on the 15th floor.
Wow.
By the time he made it to her, he learned everything was okay and that the fire was contained. This is crazy. Jermaine says his mom was shocked at what he had done, but that she knows he'll always go above and beyond for her. Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. DBL Nation, you may be wondering why I'm singing this to you. It's because we can't play music on our stream. 4 months ago, none of us knew who rapper Lil Nas X was. Old Town Road has been on the top of the Billboard 100 chart for 16 weeks now.
Welcome back to DBL. Jojo Fletcher came in runner-up on Ben Higgins' season of The Bachelor, but found true love the next year as the Bachelorette with Jordan Rodgers, who's the younger brother of NFL quarterback Aaron Rodgers. Now, the couple is testing their relationship by fixing up rental properties in Cashpad. I sat down with them at Denver's Series Fest in today's DBL Spotlight.
Hey, Jojo and Jordan, welcome to Daily Blast Live.
Thank you.
It is so nice to see you both, looking very gorgeous, I must say.
She picked it out for me. I can't pick out my own clothes.
We just came from the beach, so this isn't a full-time thing, but thank you.
You need to tell me all about Cashpad. What is it all about? What's the deal? You've mentioned, you've been getting dirty, getting stuck in.
Oh, I've always done rentals and stuff, but Cashpad is really about the short-term rental market. And Jordan and I, we team up, we partner with homeowners.
And we're creating a business for them and for us.
So who's more handy?
I dragged him into this.
I didn't realize that in the fine print was free labor for the rest of my life.
We like to jokingly say, I'm JoJo's construction therapist.
Oh my gosh, and it is so true. Okay, so right, I've got a picture of you guys on your projects, and I want you to tell me what's going on here.
Uh-oh.
What is happening in this moment?
So we're renovating a property, and the property came with a lot of character, a lot of charm, and there was these beautiful countertops in the kitchen. But in the back of my mind, I always felt like we needed to keep this piece.
But in the back of her mind, she didn't bother to share that to anybody or me, so the piece kind of found its way into the dumpster. So I jumped into the dumpster, and I ended up finding some of it left, but I tell you what, lost my balance, fell back onto a piece of wood that had multiple nails sticking up.
That is true.
Listen, you cannot script that. So if anyone thinks there's any part of this show that is scripted,
It hurt.
that
was not scripted. I wouldn't have signed up for that.
You were like, this was not part of my contract.
Yeah.
And I've got a message for you.
For me?
For you.
Okay.
From former Bachelor Ben Higgins.
Oh.
So I'm looking at you like, please don't be upset with me.
Oh, I
for
love
reading
Ben.
this.
I love Ben.
So Ben's a very good friend of the show. He comes on Daily Blast Live all the time. He said, Jojo, you've always been a leader and a powerful force in the world. You'll be successful with anything that you touch, which I think is really
What a
sweet.
sweetheart.
Very
So
sweet.
do you have any words you'd like to give back to Ben?
Ben, thank you. You are amazing. You are a gentleman. And I really appreciate it.
And we need to get together sometime.
And we need to get together sometime.
Yeah.
Congratulations, guys, on Cashpad. We're super excited. It'll be awesome, guys. I can't wait to see you in action.
Thank you.
You can watch Cashpad tonight on CNBC. We'll be right back.
Jeff's underwear routine, but you do have a shout out of a very famous, or your favorite underwear, Swank? Swink?
Stance.
Stance.
Yeah, that's my
So
that's my
explain,
go-to.
What is that?
Is that the buttery kind?
Yeah, it's called buttery. One of my underwear is called buttery socks.
So Stance is S-T-A-N-C-E?
Yes, they have socks and underwear.
Okay, so that's kind of where, if Margot was interested, Stance if you're looking for a Father's Day or a birthday gift.
Like I don't like gifts. Like I don't like people giving me gifts. But if it's like Christmas or something, I'll say I want underwear. You know what I mean? So I build up my underwear game and my sock game.
Sorry.
And it's good because I don't need anything. I'll get it myself. But if you want to get me some cool underwear, I'm down with that.
Can I ask you a question? As a griller, do you like people that buy you like Kiss the Chef aprons?
No.
Okay.
No.
Or like there's a light on my helmet.
I'm never gonna wear that. Actually, that is very useful.
Okay.
But you like a bear spatula.
I have one.
Yeah, he does have.
I have one already. Yeah, I have that. I do like that, but not like.
He does that. That's funny.
I'm not gonna wear an apron out
Says
there
like
like
Kiss
a
the.
goofball.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna do that, but I do have Bears gear, so I'll definitely use that. So you could push it on your burger and it'll
I
give
always
like
think,
the Bears
who's
symbol.
the dads that like those like Kiss the
Nobody.
Chef?
Nobody.
Are you sure?
You just get those for
no, because
presents.
they are everywhere.
Yeah, nobody likes
No
them.
dad
If my
anywhere
kid
likes
gets
them.
that. If Lawson
dads.
got me, like if my kids got a little older and they got me that, I would wear it for sure. Right. I'd wear it. But other than that, I hate it.
Mac Weldon, my faves. I don't know who that is.
Matt Weldon used to advertise on Hannibal's podcast. I never knew what it was. I thought it was a software company.
Is it underwear?
I guess so.
Oh.
I mean, if I'm taking it in context.
Dude,
Mac Weldon,
check out
guys.
Stance. They got all sorts of crazy designs. A lot of mine are tropical and stuff. But they have like Bulls ones. You get like the Bulls NBA teams, or they have Cubs, and they look like the Bulls shorts, but they're just underwear.
So everyone has their.
Listen, I feel.
And you are 8.
No, I feel like
Batman!
I feel more powerful when I have on a good pair of underwear.
Everyone
If
has
I'm
their
just-
own power. Yours is your hair. When your hair is very good, you feel powerful. Yours is your underwear.
Yeah, I feel like I can't lose today. I got on the good underwear.
That's cool. So what is your DBL Nation, your thing
Yeah.
that makes you feel
Is that weird?
invincible? I think when I feel tan. I feel invincible. Travis, what about you? Hair. Drake, what's the one thing you have that makes you feel invincible when you have it on?
When I feel tan as well.
Tan.
Actually. No, that's my eyebrows.
Oh, eyebrows. Brows. Ow. What's the one thing you wear that you feel comfortable, that you're like, this is going to be a good day?
And she had real 30 seconds.
Really nice boxers, or
Boxers.
a nice
Good.
fitting,
Good.
nice fitting blazer.
Or nice fitting.
Blazer's a good one.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. Al.
That's right. Veronica from YouTube says, Jeff, let's hear more. I promise I'm reading it.
Okay.
Thank you, Tori, for trying to call me out.
Wow.
She says, Jeff, I want to know more about the buttery soft spandex underwear.
We just talked about them during the break, but they're called Stance underwear. Look them up. They're amazing. They are buttery soft, and they got cool designs.
That's right.
Here's what's coming up next.
You're welcome.
Brad, Leo, the stars of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, turn up the glam on the red carpet. But who's the pop icon who really stole the show? Then, a groom texts his ex, thanking her for showing him how to love a day before his wedding. Was it a sweet move or uncool to his bride? And kids these days. Actress Bella Thorne says she's pansexual. DBL is getting hip with the times and teaching you what that means. When we come back.
All right, here it is. Hi, DBL Nation. Raquel here. There is a lot of casting news coming out right now and a lot of reactions to casting news. First of all, if you love the original Blade series with Wesley Snipes, Mahershala Ali is going to be the new Blade, and he is actually giving his blessing and saying that it's okay. And then there is also in the works a follow-up to Surviving R. Kelly and another one about Jeff Epstein. A docuseries is in the works about that. Janelle Monáe has been cast to star in the next season of Homecoming on Amazon. And that was like a big deal. I thought you were like, oh, you watch Homecoming? React on that. This is a lot of casting news that just suddenly came down within the last like maybe hour or two. I just don't know what you think. Like, I have a story coming up about Sylvester Stallone and his just his relationship with Hollywood and Rocky, and I want you to stay tuned for that and let me know your thoughts, because it's definitely pretty shocking once you hear it. Anyway, I will see you next break. Bye, DBL Nation.
Is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. Let's get right into it. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood premiered last night in Los Angeles, and the stars were there. Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, and Margot Robbie. New friends Brad and Leo posed for photos together. Today, we're hearing reports that the two bonded over pottery and would stay up late doing arts and crafts together. Yes, you heard that right. Other stars hit the red carpet too, including singer Britney Spears. This was her red carpet debut with her boyfriend Sam Asghari. What, Tori?
Yeah, you made a noise.
You made a noise.
I don't know. Britney doesn't look well to me.
She doesn't look well to me.
And I don't want to say that as like,
I know.
let's just say what everyone's thinking like that. She's so wealthy. She could get any stylist. This just looks very like, she looks worried in her eyes.
She does look worried. She looks
uncomfortable.
And no one's making fun of her. Like, I'm a legitimate fan of her. That's what I'm saying. It's just like, yeah, I'm just glad you said it. We always say we're going to be honest on the show, but you're always scared to say anything, especially when it seems like it has to do with any kind of mental health, because you don't want to seem like you're putting any kind of stigma on it or making any judgments, or definitely not poking fun. But something looks like it's going on, and it seems like it has been for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I worry about her, but
I know.
Yeah.
Wish her all the best. Yeah. Sylvester Stallone is opening up about the future of the Rocky series. Raquel Villanueva has that news at the moment.
That's right, Sam. Sylvester Stallone revealed in a new interview there are 2 major Rocky projects in the works. One is a movie where he'd reprise his legendary character. In it, the boxing star meets a young street fighter who's not in the country legally. And there's talks of a TV prequel series, but the biggest revelation Stallone made is shocking some of his fans. He does not own any of the Rocky franchise, even though he came up with the idea, wrote it, and starred in it. He says he's furious he can't pass the legacy on to his kids and feels like he robbed Hollywood and Hollywood robbed him of his own work.
Yikes. Thank you, Raquel. I mean, it's sad. You see a lot of young performers, whether it be in music, whether it be in acting, and yeah, you don't have any leverage when you're just starting out. None at all. And you get taken advantage of.
His story is incredible. Tony Robbins talks about it all the time. If you haven't heard it, look it up real quickly. He sold his own dog to try to get that movie made. He wrote Rocky. He sold it to finally somebody, and they said, we're not going to give it to you with you attached. So he didn't sell it to him. The price went up to like $250,000 back in that day. Still didn't sell it to him. I think they came back with like $40,000 to buy the script with him attached. He sold his dog. With half that money, he bought that dog back.
Wow.
That's the dog Buckus that you see actually in Rocky 1.
That's
the story
amazing.
is incredible.
Yeah,
the
the
money that he got
sacrifice.
paid and what he gave up now on the
Right.
back end of that
Yeah.
thing, he got totally taken advantage
He
of.
did.
But the story of not quitting
But that happens all the time to
incredible.
entertainers. I mean, there was a series called Behind the Music where people talked about these kinds of issues. Where, I mean, don't forget Tribe Called Quest said industry rule number 4080, record company people are shady. I
Yeah.
mean, they're warning you in your music. Like, people sign terrible contracts, 10-album contracts that they still are working on. And that's why somebody like De La Soul isn't even on Spotify. They have to go by another name because of contracts that they signed when they were 16, 17 years old.
And when we mock Taylor Swift about that, she is trying to speak up for those who have trying to get their rights to own their own publishing, which is important. As
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well, the queen of fashion is throwing major shade at the First Lady. Is she? Is she not? In an interview, Vogue editor-in-chief Anna Wintour avoids all questions about Melania Trump and her style. Instead, she talks about former First Lady Michelle Obama. Listen.
Melania put together a much more put together way. She did come to the UK and I think very consciously wanted to see herself as an ambassador for British fashion. Do you value that?
First Lady Michelle Obama really was so incredible, and in every decision she made about fashion, she was the best ambassador that this country could possibly have.
But she's not the First Lady now.
Beyond
So what about
fashion.
the one that you've got now?
And to me, she is the example that I admire.
Wow. That's how you do it. If you're looking to deflect or you're looking to be on point and stick with the message, you see it from Kellyanne Conway to Anna Wintour. She is the queen of, I don't care what you're saying, with a smile and some sunglasses, I'm going to get my point across.
And see, I think with Anna Wintour, she knows how much her endorsement is worth. And our very own co-host Erica Cobb mentioned this earlier. I mean, we know Devil Wears Prada was made after this woman, and we know that she could sell anything. Literally, you could go out on the streets in a sack of potatoes, and that sack of potatoes would be the next hot fashion trend.
Very much.
So I think she's just more aware
She's
that
cautious.
her endorsement can either make or break someone. And so I think that was just her being super self-aware of that.
You don't think she's throwing any
Yeah, I think she
shade?
was throwing some
she was throwing
shade.
a
Well, there's shade there, but she also knows that she didn't want to say anything negative, but she also knew that she couldn't say anything positive because she didn't align with that person's point of view.
But if you think about it, who in that group is going to be aligned the most? A supermodel and a Vogue editor. You'd think they would get together, right? Like Melania as the model, you'd think but she purposefully didn't even say her name throughout that interview.
Yeah.
And I think there was a little shade thrown.
All right, interesting. We'll chime in, DBL Nation. Right now, a woman's tweet is going viral. She posted a text she got from her ex the day before his wedding. It reads in part, "Thank you for being my first love. Thank you for always encouraging me. Thank you for keeping me out of trouble." He goes on to say, "I know we were only kids when we dated, but you taught me what love is. My point in all of this is you are the reason why I know how to love someone." Jeff, what do you make of this from a guy's perspective?
From a guy's perspective?
From a young G's perspective.
Yeah, I like that better. This is his last shot to get back with his
I agree
ex.
with
and
you.
he's throwing it out there.
Really?
Yes. First of
But
all, that
his
was
wife
way
knew.
too lengthy.
It was
his
too
wife
lengthy.
is gullible and needs to wake up and look what's going on.
You think he was hoping for this girl to say, "Wait, I still love you"?
You know what? Like, I feel the same love as you, and our love was real. Wedding.
No,
off.
he doesn't even want a response.
Is amazing.
He wants her to show up at the altar the next day and do the whole say anything with
you
a
think
speaker.
this was a last shot?
I feel like it was.
I think so too. If you read some of that, he says, "Your heart is amazing, and I hope someone will show up and make you the best wife and dependable person that I know
Maybe
you
it's
are."
honest.
It's a little
I guess
much.
I'm too
I
gullible.
don't know any dude that
I
would
guess
write
I'm too
this.
gullible.
And I know
You wouldn't
all
like
the
this,
dudes. No
Sam,
dude would write this.
Mark wrote
You
this.
wouldn't like that.
To his ex, I would be upset.
The day before your
Yeah.
wedding, that length. lengthy.
Yeah, right.
Yep, for sure.
I agree.
Her response was like, new phone, who dis? It wasn't, but at one point she didn't know who that was.
That's amazing. All right, well, actress and singer Bella Thorne is opening up about her sexuality. She tells ABC that she's pansexual, meaning not limited in sexual choice with regard to biological sex, gender, or gender identity. Here's what she has to say about all of that.
I'm actually pansexual, and I didn't know that. Yep.
Okay.
And somebody explained to me really thoroughly what that is. And
explain that to me, because
I am pan. You like beings. You like what you like. Doesn't have to be a girl or a guy or, you know, he, she, a they, or this or that. It's literally you like personality. Like you just like a being.
I think this is so refreshing, and I know it gets really confusing. It even gets confusing to me, and especially because, you know, the more that people are becoming very open and honest when it comes to their gender identity or when it comes to sexuality, it can seem complex, but I think this is a beautiful statement.
Yeah, for me, it's just I like having the conversation because I'm confused about the whole thing. I don't know what a pansexual entails. That was a great explanation for me. So I think a lot of people are uncomfortable for having the conversation.
Yes.
Even asking a question.
They don't want to feel ignorant.
Yeah, or I don't want to offend anybody.
Yes.
I don't want to be offensive in my questions, but I always want to be open and honest about it. So I'm a little confused about, like, if you like male or female, but even if someone identifies as a male or female.
And Tori, I know you're about to jump in, but I'll just say to Jeff's point really quickly. If you look at the interviewer, I feel like her response was exactly how somebody that doesn't know what pansexual is, but when they hear, they like, oh, I'm a pansexual now. She goes, oh, well, good for you. Like the way your aunt will respond to Thanksgiving, like, I don't know what that is. But again, she probably, as an interviewer, didn't want to even go there, even though she's actually, her job is to speak for the viewer and ask the questions we want to hear.
Especially when she's willing to talk about it. My friend came out as pansexual, and basically, it's not bisexual. A lot of you are writing us in and saying, oh, this is just bisexual. Bisexual is I like a man and I like a woman. Pansexual just means if you're transgender, if you're in drag, if you're consider yourself fluid or queer and not only any gender, you're still attracted to that as well. So it's a whole umbrella of anybody you could be interested in.
Yep, yeah.
And I think that's great that we're talking about this on daytime TV.
I do too. I do too. So, all right.
Has anybody else come out as pansexual?
Miley Cyrus.
Interesting.
Yep, Miley Cyrus.
Do you think it's like a point in time in your life, and then that you start to narrow your focus as to what you're into later on in life? Because I don't hear as many people that are 60 years old saying I'm into everything still. But I think maybe when you're younger, you're more open and more, you know, I don't know.
I think in 2019 we're just much more progressive when it comes to labels and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
You're doubling your odds, that's for sure.
That's right. There you go.
This next story, I have so many thoughts on this. Should phone addiction be treated the same as other addictions? That's what an Italian politician is proposing. She thinks the addiction for kids is getting worse and worse. So DBL Nation, we want to hear from you. Head to dblvote.com. Weigh in. Yes, I think,
your phone.
I know, right? I think phone addiction is a real addiction, and it's, I think, going to be one of our most dangerous addictions.
Why?
If it isn't already.
Why?
Because our youth is completely consumed in their phones. And it's been proven that it rewires their brain, number one. It's been proven that it makes them reach out to the internet and not. So there was a really interesting documentary of a young girl that committed suicide. And her mother believes that if her daughter wasn't addicted to her phone, that her daughter would have reached out to her mother. Because you think about when you are addicted to your phone, you're isolated, right? So instead of going, hey, mom, hey, dad, I'm depressed, or hey, mom, hey, dad, I'm having these dark thoughts. You go to your phone and you Google dark thoughts, or you Google committing suicide.
But you can also Google what do I do if I'm having dark thoughts? Like there is another part to that.
Yeah, but there's no human connection there. You might be on a.
It's just hard. And we're the same age. I agree with you.
Yeah.
But I'm saying I think we have to understand in this generation, their human connection. One of my best friends, who's a very wealthy woman, had a very nice car sitting in her driveway. I was at her house, and her daughter's probably 20 now. And I was like, whose car is that? And she was like, oh, it's my daughter's. I was like, does she have her license? She was like, no. She has a brand new Mercedes in the driveway. She didn't want it because her and her friends just text. They don't drive to go see each other.
And that's
it's antiquated.
Not so healthy.
It's antiquated.
There's no human connection.
What if I put into a pill I just put one into a pill, that your chance of suicide is going to go up 3-fold. Your chance of FOMO and missing out on everything is going to go up 10-fold. Every negative comment that you see about yourself on there is going to drive you to depression.
Yeah.
What if I said you give that pill to your child?
You won't.
Well, you would never give that pill to your
great
child.
point.
That's what the phone is.
I agree.
There is no, it's the Wild West. We say the same thing all the time. I'm sick of saying that. But
no, we should say it.
It's an addiction. It's a drug.
Yes.
And we don't know what to do with it just yet. When the depression rate or suicide rate goes through the roof,
and it already
maybe
is.
somebody might start thinking a little bit about what we should do to limit social media and people's time on the phone. How productive could you be just yourself without your phone right now? How many other things do you think you could get done
And we're
without
adults.
spending 2, 3, 4, 8 hours a day on your phone?
Yeah.
It is
And app
something that we-
developers, they say we develop these apps not to help you, to addict you.
Like the dopamine of Candy
addict
Crush.
you.
Apparently the feeling in your phone when it
Yes.
vibrates and the sound is like a casino going off when you hit the jackpot all over
it's
again.
a very scary thing. And the more that we can be aware of it, the more I hope that we can figure out how to deal with it. So we got 50-50. There it is. We're split, or 51%.
I don't think
yes.
people realize, to be honest with you.
I don't either. It's too new. Well, coming up on DBL, we're going to blow your minds. Do you know what those holes in pasta utensils are? Or what about the little metal rivets on your jeans? We're going to reveal the mind-blowing facts coming up next.
We are live. Interesting conversation
I like
about
when you
phone
just tell me,
addiction.
so I don't have
Do
to
you
read.
guys think it's real? I think a lot of our audience is my age and older, and we obviously know a world without smartphones. So I think we can put them down and still do things. You can still cross stitch or whatever old lady task you have with a cat on your lap. But I don't know if these kids really know anything other than this. They talk to people that aren't there. They compete with each other online. They get, I would probably say, more of a reward system by doing things online. You get badges. You can level up. You're involved in these communities in which you feel like you have some kind of status. I don't play Fortnite, but I know that it's considered very addictive.
Okay, cool.
Everything you do. People say just swiping on Tinder is addictive. Playing Candy Crush is addictive. Anything that's got your eyeballs focused on it all the time and you're given some kind of reward system. You think about Tinder. You swipe, and you get a match. That's a reward. You play Candy Crush. I don't even know what the heck that is. People like it. I'm assuming there's
I'm
a
obsessed
reward.
with it.
Yeah, are you really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
When you say obsessed, like how much do you play?
I always tell you guys I have busy fingers. That's gonna sound bad. I have anxious hands and busy hands, so I like to do stuff like cross stitching or crosswords or Candy Crush. I'll be super honest.
Do you know what's weird? I never play Candy Crush. The second I get on an airplane,
yeah, people say
I
that.
crush it.
My mom's like, time for Candy Crush.
Just for hours.
Oh, people love. I love
And then I
it.
get off. I'm like, well, I won't play that again till I'm on my
But
next
how do
flight.
you not have a time limit on yours? Because mine has
No,
a
I do. But then I
Okay.
go watch a movie.
Me too, and
But
then
then
come back.
sometimes I do so good that it's like bonus
Yeah, it's
round.
59
Yeah.
And I'm like, woohoo! So the study was that literally that game Candy Crush, if you don't know, if you get 3 in a row and it goes down, your phone buzzes. It does that every single time, and it's almost the same dopamine effect as a cocaine hit or being in Vegas.
I don't know. Okay,
Swear to God.
What about ordering ginger ale? I never get ginger ale anywhere but on the airplane.
I'm a tomato juice.
Welcome back to DBL. The internet is going crazy over everyday products with hidden features like the little arrow on your gas gauge. Well, many people were surprised to learn that it lets you know which side of the car to fill up the tank.
That's a good one.
I know. My husband just told me that. We're going to take a look at some of our favorite hidden features in a new segment called Mind Blown. Yes! So let's take a look at our first product. This one's for you, Tori. The metal rivets on your pant pockets. What is their hidden feature?
I actually know this.
What?
They are for tiny, teeny little keys. No, I don't know. I have no idea. I was like, what
You
is
said it with so
talking
much
about? I have
confidence.
no idea.
Okay.
I was like, are they?
So they're to protect your pants from ripping at the weakest points.
Okay.
That
makes sense.
Yes, I like that.
Yes.
And why aren't they right there at the split?
Is that where you
That's
have
where
a
people,
problem?
I've ripped some pants
You
before.
want rivets just all the way down like
Yes.
that.
You mean like this?
Everybody has split a pair of pants before.
What area?
Why do we split them like
This
Right
area?
in the
The tushy.
in the crotch area?
yes, you can say crotch, right?
Oh, the crotch area.
That's where I need a couple
All
of
right,
We're gonna
rivets
say
down
crotch and tushy. Weird. Like comfy.
I have a 2-year-old. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Next up, why is the headrest in your car detachable?
Oh.
Just in case you're shorter.
Or maybe you need to break open a window if you're in the water.
Absolutely not.
No.
That's
not it.
That's it.
the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
So if you pull the headrest all the way out, the metal studs become handy window breakers if you get submerged in water. Yeah, right.
I swear on my life. My mom bought me one that you can do that too.
I have one of those tools, but I didn't know you could use
Well,
these.
think about it. It's a hard
Amazing. Way to go, Tori.
Thanks,
You got to
babe.
give her credit. Al, you shamed
I'm not
her.
buying that.
Al, you. Okay, first of all,
So rude.
both of you, we all shamed her. We got to give her credit.
I give you credit. I had no idea.
Jeff,
I'm
Jeff,
still on
you
the
gotta-
fence.
I knew that because I'm smart and you can't even give me credit for
give her
it.
credit.
Okay, take it.
Up next
I saw that.
is the tiny hole in the inner airplane window. Jeff, what is it? Come on, Jeff. Come on, Jeff.
I don't know.
Catch up to Tori.
Maybe
Come on.
something like to fog, like the heat or
I would
something,
think the
because it's so
pressure,
cold
just
out
to
there.
relieve some of the pressure in the plane.
So, like,
there's
the
so much
window-
pressure outside and so much then
But it's not
less
going
pressure
anywhere.
inside.
It has to do
well,
with
that's
the
the problem. There
airflow.
would be tension with the pressure
You guys
trying
sound like you know what you're
to
talking
get to an
What do you
equal.
think, Tori? You're
I'm wondering if it's some kind of decal so the birds don't hit.
interesting.
That's a
Let's see. It
terrible-
helps control cabin pressure and prevents fog.
Yes.
You were right.
Good job, both of you.
Okay.
Both of you. Okay, so our final hidden feature is the hole in the middle of
I
your
know this.
pasta ladle. What, Tori?
Well, I think I know. And I did know this before that, so I'll say this. I think it's to measure your pasta.
That's unbelievable. She's right. She's
I have
right.
no idea.
How does she know this
How did you
stuff?
know that? I was on a hack show for 2 years.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
that's true.
That's
Okay.
true. That's true.
What kind of hack is that?
What do you mean it's a great hack?
Measure.
I put this much of spaghetti in and I always come up with like an army's worth. I want this
Look at
much.
it.
Yeah, I never know how much
Yeah.
spaghetti to put
Yeah.
in. I'm sorry, because I just use a whole box
true.
and then
That's right.
And then
I
you
don't
have
put enough
10
water in. I have 8 gigantic
Yes.
noodles in there. It just soaks up all the water. I don't know how to do it. So yeah,
This
that's
is how
good.
you do it.
I'll use that.
Nobody taught you how to make spaghetti, boil spaghetti?
Here's your first step.
really.
Put more than 8 noodles.
No, but when you don't put enough water in there, then it soaks up.
It tells you how many quarts of water to put
I'm
in.
not looking at quarts. I'm a dude.
8 noodles. How much water are you putting in there? A quarter cup.
I really just I eyeball it, Jeff. I don't know.
Well, that was our first edition of Mind Blown. Coming up on DBL, the best investments you can start making right now that'll help you in the long run. You don't want to miss dollars and cents right after this quick break. Way to go, Tori.
Yes.
Way to go.
That was good.
Yep. Way to go.
Hey Beauty Blasters, welcome back to another awesome episode of Beauty Blast. I'm Jeray for the Slay, and this is my beautiful model Lex. Today, we're talking a little bit more about red light beauty tips. Now, previously, I showed you guys how to get this beautiful slaying pink eye look with just using a lipstick. I'm gonna use the same lipstick, and we're actually gonna try out for a little blush as well. Y'all ready? Well, you better get ready. All right, guys. Now you're gonna take a little bit of your lipstick and you're gonna put it right onto your palm, actually. This is kind of different, I know, but stay with me. Lex, you mind holding that for me, girl? Thank you. Now you're gonna tap your palms together, and this is going to actually be your applicator, right? Take it right onto the apples of the cheek and lightly press right onto the cheekbones. This is a great way to get a soft amount of color directly onto the cheekbone with a beautiful payoff, okay? Now we're gonna do the same thing. I'll show you guys one more time. Don't get too crazy, all right? Watch carefully. We're gonna tap right into the cheekbone using our palm. I'll use my other palm just to give it a little bit more magic in there. There we go, Lex. I love you, girl. We're gonna make sure you look extra flossy. There we go, queen. And that is such a beautiful and quick way to go ahead and capture a look with just using a single lipstick. Now, if we really want to get a little crazy with it, we can always take that same lipstick once again and actually put it on the lips now. So I'm gonna take a little bit on a brush here, swipe it right on over. Ooh, yes, queen. You look like you're about to go right on out to EDC Las Vegas, honey, and go ahead and twirl her life away. Ooh. So cute. Now you guys, don't be afraid to try this with other lipsticks. You can use CoverGirl, Maybelline, NYX, whatever it may be at home. Find that one good old lipstick that your grandma gave to you and you haven't used since 1996. I swear it's gonna come in handy for you today. All right guys, that's gonna be all for us this time. Make sure you check out our next Beauty Blast to see if stashes are coming back. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Budgetologist Felicia Jones is back in the studio, and we are talking investing in today's dollars and cents, presented by John Hancock. Felicia, always great to have you in studio. Thank you for coming back in.
Thank you for having me again.
Our first question is from Cass on Facebook. She writes, I'm in my 60s and I'm looking into other ways to invest outside of my retirement. How can I be smart about it, which is important? That's key.
Very important. It's very important. So when you want to get into investing outside of retirement, we're going to look at health savings accounts first. They're very exciting for me, at least I love them. They're tax deductible, tax deferred, and you can do tax-free withdrawals for medical expenses, and they're like a super IRA.
I love that.
Yeah, they're amazing. And so the next thing you can look at is low-cost exchange-traded funds. These are ETFs, and this is great for newbie investors and low cost of entry, and they're very tax efficient when it comes to gains.
So that would be something I could look into.
Yes, you could definitely start looking into ETFs. And then, of course, there are tons of investment apps out there. There are apps that will help you get educated about investing for the first time. They'll round up your change, or you could do automatic withdrawals right into investment accounts.
Really? Yeah. I know a lot of people get weary about apps on their phone. Are there any that you could suggest for them?
I mean, we have so many of them, but you can always start with Acorn. That's where you get a lot of the education. And then you have Stash, which is also great for newbies and self-employed, so that you can start an IRA.
I love that. I love that for me, my family. I'm sure DBL Nation loves it as well. Felicia, thanks for stopping by. Always a pleasure.
All right, thank you for having me.
All right, guys. To submit your financial questions for the next Dollars and Cents, please email askmrsjones@dailyblastlive.com. And for info about life insurance and retirement planning, call John Hancock at 1-800-978-0663. We'll be right back. Let's do an example.
Okay, CVS.
Oh, I gotcha. Oh man, I have no idea.
Seeing this good?
Yeah.
Huh?
Something store.
It did stand for something store. You're absolutely right. It was Consumer Value Stores.
Oh.
Did anyone know that?
No.
How about A&W of the root beer?
A&W.
A&W of the root beer. Bert, do you know this?
No, I read it. I read about it.
Do you know what the A&W of?
I would guess someone's names.
You would be right. Roy Allen and Frank Wright created the root beer, or the A&W. Not the root beer. M&M's.
Oh, is it, oh no. Aren't they always by Mars Bar? Isn't it something Mars?
Yes, that's the first one. Mars and Murray's. You're never gonna get that.
I can't believe I got Mars though.
I'm
you know
very
why?
proud of you.
My aunt used to work there.
Really?
At Mars over.
Really?
Yeah.
Did she smell like chocolate?
I think she did.
Wow. 3M.
What?
3M. You know that makes Post-it notes? 3M.
Oh, is this something to do with memo?
That's a good point. It's an abbreviation for the Minnesota Mining and Manufacturing Company. Its original moniker.
What else can you watch a show and get information that you don't care about?
Corey's the king of that.
That my boss just burned
there
me
more?
so bad.
No,
yeah, but
no.
now you're not gonna do it. Okay.
I like it. I
know.
like games like this.
Okay.
Hold on, I won't let you.
This is good like trivia.
My boss loves me. I'm sure. I think you'd like this.
Like trivia night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
HSBC, the bank.
Oh man. British Columbia?
Very good, like instincts. It's Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation.
Oh.
I didn't really know that. Do you know what YKK is on every zipper? You know how on every zipper is an engraving YKK?
No.
Oh, it's on every zipper.
YKK?
Yeah. It stands for Yoshida Manufacturing Company.
YKK?
Yeah.
Let me see
so
your zipper.
check your zippers, everybody. Oh, that sounds bad. YKK. We'll check later. Everyone do it in the privacy of.
Hey, I do.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
So you look on your.
YKK. I mean, you could zoom in on it if you want.
Let me see in the back of yours then.
Look.
YKK.
You see that? Right on the top?
What does that mean?
It says YKK. Don't look at that part.
It's a manufacturing company.
Look on your zipper. It says YKK. I never knew
Yoshida
that.
Kogyo Kabashikashia.
That's
It stands for makes the zippers.
That's crazy.
Whoa. Okay.
On every
Isn't that cool?
zipper?
Whoa.
They dominate the zipper
This is
market?
the best thing ever.
That blew my mind.
Oh, So Rand Paul didn't win. Okay, so
That was the
should I say that right now? So
mind-blowing-
just so you guys know.
So Rand Paul just like took a stand against the 9/11.
Yeah, he's going to look terrible from now. If you guys didn't know, the Senate has just approved the 9/11 funding for the first responders.
I say we.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. Tori.
We got Millie on Facebook says no one gives Melania a fair chance, and Ben agrees Anna Wintour showed zero class. Then again, she doesn't even take her glasses off while she's sitting next to Queen Elizabeth, so her behavior is to be expected by now. Just an FYI, she had eye surgery when she sat next to the Queen, and that's why she did that.
But she is known for those
She really is known for that, yes. And anti-Melania Zoe says, well, look, Melania was not a supermodel, but maybe a D-list. She was no Heidi Klum or Kate Moss. Come on, Tori, D-list model and Anna Wintour have zero in common.
Ooh. And you know, listen, a lot of people will defend Melania, but Melania's also put herself out there. You know, she's been very staunch with her own policies, and I think a lot of people forget that she's done a lot of interviews before her husband became president that touts her own policies. So I think she opens herself up to fair game because of that.
Well, I don't think if you're a Barack Michelle fan, you're probably not going to like Trump and Melania.
It's two completely different ideologies.
Totally.
So no one's agreeing on this one.
Yeah, it's just never going to be there. Yeah.
We will see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Have a great day, everybody. Stay safe. Bye, guys.
Okay, you guys, I think I'm going to have Tori come over here for Between the Show with Shuby. Between the Show with Shuby and Showman's coming. Anyways, I wanted to give you one of my mind-blown things.
Showman.
Yes, one of my mind-blown things, but you can also say, today I was this year's old when I found
Yes, I
out
love
or whatever.
that. Yeah.
So here's mine. Do you know what be there or be square means?
Oh my God, I did know
You've
this.
seen this one.
But there's something I did know this. Oh my gosh, I don't remember.
So it's be there or be square because you're not around.
That's it.
Isn't that a good one? That's my favorite one that when I found that out, I was like, do you get it? Be there or be square because you're not around, which is like a circle.
Is that real?
I don't know, but I like it.
That's a great one.
I
Guys,
like
how
it.
about this one?
Ooh, give me another one. I love these.
Okay. BMW.
Okay,
What
we're doing
does it stand
acronyms
for
now.
now? Yeah.
Oh. He told me this morning and I didn't. Chris, our boss, told us this morning. He was like, that one's easy. And I was like,
This is not easy.
It was not easy.
It's Bayerisch Motorenwerke.
Okay.
In German, which means the Bavarian Motor Works.
Bavarian Motor Works. Do you know what CVS stands for? This one was
Consumer
hard.
Value Stores.
Oh, see,
I just
Tori
did
knew that one.
That's
Tori
why.
knew that one. Wait, let's do some other mind-blown things.
Yeah, there was another. Oh, TCBY. Does anyone know that one?
The country's best yogurt. Duh.
Yeah, that's true. Kmart. Okay, well, Mart we all know is a market.
I don't
but
know.
the K stands for Crescage, as in the founder Sebastian S.
Oh,
Crescage.
those aren't as fun because I don't know the founder's name.
DSW, come on.
Designer Shoe Warehouse. I love DSW so
And
much.
JC Penney. James Cash Penney.
15.
Ah. So this has been Mind Blown / acronyms
with
Shuby and Shulman.
Live, we're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
You think this hair just naturally stays like this?
DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Tuesday, July 23rd. I'm here with Erica, Tori, and Al. I'm Jeff. Let's get to it, guys. What are you willing to do to help thy neighbor? Well, this man's neighbors formed a human chain to prevent ICE agents from apprehending him. The man was with his 12-year-old son when agents tried to take him into custody. The resulting standoff lasted for hours. Eventually, the ICE agents left without arresting him. So, would you interfere with ICE agents? Go to dblvote.com to weigh in. So Tori, clear this up for me. Is this illegal? Is this the same like jurisdiction as the police department? Because I know that's illegal.
It's a little fuzzy with ICE and where they can arrest and when and the circumstances. I think these people were showing, yes, I do think they were showing a bit of civil disobedience by holding them back. I think they wanted to wait when he wasn't with his son or with an attorney. I'm not going to speculate. His neighbors felt this wasn't the right time and that the raid was unethical. And they did what we've seen many people do, Christians protecting Muslims, Muslims protecting Christians. A human chain has been used in centuries in Germany with Nazis to protect against it. So it is something that's dangerous, and it can escalate and it can get in real trouble. But if you believe that this is a value that is part of democracy and you don't think it is tearing at the fabric of what America stands for, you're going to take hold and be part of that chain. And so I don't have kids right now, so I am a little bit more aggressive in what I can protest. So I probably would if I knew the circumstances and I thought it was an unlawful arrest.
Yeah, even if that was my friend in my circumstance, having 2 young children and my wife who stays at home and takes care of them, I'm not going to do that.
And
I'm going to be perfectly honest with you because I can't afford to be put in jail for someone else and then have my family suffer. But I do respect your opinion on that side.
I agree.
I'm just impressed with the fact that a community came together in that way. I mean, most of us don't even know our neighbors.
Yeah.
That's real.
So the fact that they did that and sacrificed their own bodies is just remarkable.
And it's all races, all ages, right? It's like, it's a very diverse group of people protecting a neighbor, and they did it for hours. So
you better have a barbecue after that.
That's right. Oh yeah.
Invite everybody over. All right, guys. Which would you let ICE agents interfere yet, or would you interfere with ICE agents?
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay,
wow, you got the Tory side on that one.
Interesting.
All right, guys, we're going to move on. It's official. Britain has a new leader. Let's get to Kelly Schubert with the details.
Jeff, Boris Johnson will replace Theresa May as the next prime minister. Today, he made his first speech as Conservative leader, and everyone's talking about his unexpected choice of words. Listen.
I say to all the doubters, dude. We are going to energise the country. We're going to get Brexit done on October the 31st. We're going to take advantage of all the opportunities that it will bring in a new spirit of can-do.
Now, everyone is talking about Johnson using dude in his speech. So here's the deal. His campaign slogan was deliver, unite, and defeat. But he said the DUD acronym wasn't great for an election campaign, so he added an E for energize to make it dude. Now, today, President Trump sent a tweet congratulating his friend on the win, saying, quote, he will be great.
Thanks, Kelly.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know anything about Boris Johnson, he was mayor of London and a well-liked mayor, but side by side, now you're seeing he's become almost another Trump. They dress the same, their hair is the same, their brand of the off-the-cuff, I'm an anti-politician is the same. They like each other a lot. He has that same isolationist, Britain is going to leave the European Union. It's all about Britain and no one else. But he has said some horribly racist things. In 2002, he called blacks flag-waving pickaninnies, and that the tribal warriors will break out in watermelon smiles. So this man is also someone who said very racially insensitive things. But we see this trend sort of grow. Do you agree? What we see in America is sort of spreading in a way.
I think it seems to be pervasive amongst human beings. People just kind of like, I don't know, it almost goes to that movie character, the kind of bumbling oaf that just said stuff and kind of falls forward through life, the Tommy boy kind of character that people think is lovable and hilarious. And, I just, of all the people, like, why don't we, if you were an alien and you landed on this planet, wouldn't you think, like, the leaders of our countries would be somebody like, Elon Musk or somebody that was a problem solver, somebody that was forward thinking? Like, we don't have hyper intelligent people running for anything. It just seems like we like our politicians to be like rock stars, or like somebody we can have a beer with. And it's you never say that about your surgeon or your pilot.
Your lawyer.
No, for a very good reason. It's interesting though, because the idea of being of the people seems very tempting, and it seems like something that people gravitate to, but people are of the people under very different guidelines. Like, most of us can't afford to be of the people the way that some of our leaders are of the people, because we have bills to pay, right, and we're not our own bosses. So it's striking to me when people are emulating behaviors, because how much can you afford to emulate that behavior in your own life?
Good point. All right, guys, we're going to move on. R. Kelly may be looking for a new crisis manager right now. The singer's most recent one, Daryl Johnson, resigned for, quote, personal reasons yesterday. A potential reason might be this interview Johnson did with CBS's Gayle King. You decide.
You have a 20-something-year-old daughter. Would you allow her to be alone with
Absolutely not.
With R. Kelly?
I wouldn't leave my daughter with anybody that's accused of pedophilia. Period.
So you would not?
I would not leave my daughter with anyone that's accused of being a pedophile. I would not.
So to be clear, do you guys know that, was he officially his crisis manager before this interview?
Yes.
Well, that makes perfect sense.
It looks like they weren't on the same page with that before he did the interview.
For me, it looked like this was his way out. There was no hesitation. You could see his face. To me, it looked like, I'm done with this man.
Well, I picked up on a couple different things. One, he said, I would never leave my daughter with someone who was accused of being a pedophile. It's also a jab at parents who, as recently as a year
I didn't
ago,
even get that.
were leaving their children with this man who had written a 25-minute song talking about why do you put your daughters in my face and then talk about me later. Like, he said that on his confession. But also the fact that he didn't hesitate to say just that. He could have said easily, as any parent would or should say, I'm not going to just leave my child with someone or anyone, not someone who's accused of being a pedophile. That was taking it a step further. So I don't think he minced words. I think it was very deliberate, but I think it was deliberate for a multitude of reasons.
Wow.
Do you think it's a little late to have a crisis manager? Like, you're currently in jail.
That's when you need a crisis manager.
I would think you'd need it the day before you go to jail.
I think when you think that you need a crisis manager, things are bad.
You needed one a month ago.
It should have been yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah. But crisis managers can help you figure out how to adjust to jail, like Manafort and those type of people. They hire them to just get them. They don't know from this, you know what I mean? So they're getting them used to all that stuff. So it's right when you're in the hell of it all, you need someone like that, and that person was ready.
Didn't Kevin Hart make a movie with Will Ferrell about how to adjust to jail?
Yeah, what
I
was
would just think Manafort.
Hard, something hard.
Walking hard or something like that.
Get hard.
Get hard. There we go. I never thought you'd lock eyes and say that to me.
That's so good.
Bravo. Well played. Well played.
Crossed another threshold in our friendship.
For romance.
Yes.
Okay.
We're at a new level now, Al. All right. You gotta see this next video of a courtroom in Ohio. This is a serious story. It erupted into chaos yesterday after a former judge was sentenced to 6 months behind bars. The woman actually goes limp as she was dragged out of the courtroom by a bailiff. She was found guilty of helping her brother, who is a county employee, to keep his job.
Yeah.
She helped his brother. Is this true that she did?
Yeah, so there's this is the context. This is a layered cake here. So let's not just look at this and think about what it is. She said she's the first black Democrat to win in that area ever, and that the mayor and vice mayor agree. She's having public political retaliation because of it. Now, she is trying to help with her brother. He's a correctional officer, but she's saying this is outrageous. It was a non-violent crime, and I was sentenced by a judge that was racist in some of his adjudications. So all this smells fishy, and her going limp like that, that is a telltale sign. I'm protesting this. I'm not resisting you, but this is my peaceful protest that I don't agree with what's going on. I have never in my life seen a judge treated like that.
And you've grown up in courtrooms.
I've been to the Supreme Court.
Yes.
They are held in a different esteem, and whether you like it or not, that judicial branch is seen as the ivory tower. They are a bit broader than us. They think more about things than us, and they are held to more respect. They wear the robes. They sit higher than you. Your honor. You sit. You stand. I have never seen a judge,
especially over something like that. It seemed like, even if it was a fireable offense, to drag somebody to jail like that, I mean,
that is outrageous.
I think Larry Nassar walked on his own back into the court.
Oh, absolutely.
Just to be devil's advocate here, if Larry Nassar decided to go limp, they'd have to drag him out, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, this was obviously, she did this for a reason.
She was protesting the arrest to show.
So when you read when you read the story and I say go limp, it almost feels like she fainted because she was so surprised.
No.
This was deliberate.
Let me just put it this way, and Al, I'm sure you'll be familiar with this too. What did your parents always tell you? You can't do what everybody else does. You're held to a different standard. When she was put on the bench, and she was the first black female Democrat, that's the classic example of you can't do what everybody else else is doing because you're held to a different standard. That means your street has to be clean at all times because they're looking for you, and that's the truth.
Yeah, that's it.
Make sure you move your cars to the other side of the street.
That's right. That's right.
Do you guys have street cleaning?
I do.
Okay. Some people get it, some people don't. A lot of tickets growing up. DBL is live, and coming up in just a few, a guy sends his ex-girlfriend a lengthy and loving text right before he's supposed to marry another woman. Why some are saying it was a bit too much. You think? Plus, Bachelorette couple JoJo and Jordan are still going strong. They tell our Stephanie Jones all about their new show, and you, the viewer, are the fifth host. It's the great laundry debate of 2019. It would have been great if it was 2008, right?
No, that
rhyme. Do your clothes? Do you wash your clothes before you even wear them? Your comments on that next.
There's no supervision again, which is great for the 2 o'clock show. But on YouTube, people are writing in all caps, and I like that because they're showing passion, and that indicates yelling. So Mr. Vato wrote, "No one is above the law." I'm speaking about the judge. And then Darlene Joseph Jones wrote in, "Unconscionable." And the guard who did it, another black female. Are you effing kidding me? OMG. Now, I don't care about the guard. The black female had to do what she was ordered to do, so I'm not going to put her under the bus at all. But I have seen a lot of courtrooms, and I ask you, have you ever seen a judge ever be treated with that amount of disrespect? Not even if you have to do it privately. In front of everyone, in our own courtroom, that was crazy. That was a first for me.
How I'm just, again, devil's advocate, how are they supposed to get her out of there, though?
So you take her into judge's quarters, you do it quietly, you say we can go at the back, you make an agreement with her lawyer that you have an arraignment in a private room so it doesn't have to be so bold. The idea of dragging her out if she doesn't agree, making a spectacle of it, begs the question, how dangerous was her offense in the first place? I mean, she didn't murder anybody.
Right.
She didn't harm anybody. It was nonviolent, and it was an alleged offense here. So I just thought it was pretty shocking. Only judge I saw a diss like that was in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. What a great movie.
Wow. That says a lot, though.
Yeah. It's like silent.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit? That was a...
Do you want to know I had nightmares for about 10 years
Was he
because
the
of
judge?
this scene? Remember when Christopher Lloyd like melts?
Oh, yeah, when he melted.
Oh, I had like night terrors.
Really?
Yeah.
That didn't scare. Worse than Large Marge?
Yeah,
Large
way
Marge
worse.
That was scarier. Large Marge was scarier. How about what's scarier? Christopher Lloyd melting in Toontown?
That was so
scary.
Or that was so scary.
Indiana Jones and the Holy Grail when it goes through the guys and they melt.
You mean when
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for Fifth Host, and we talk about what you're talking about. Washing your new clothes before wearing them could prevent you from scratching. If you love the way new clothes make you look, well, experts have a warning about how they make you feel. A new report says dyes found in clothing fresh off the racks could leave you with a red, itchy, painful rash called allergic contact dermatitis. Oh, sounds serious.
Yes.
Better wash it off. So DBL Nation, do you wash your new clothes before wearing them?
All right, Kathy from Facebook says there are so many toxins when it comes to finishing clothing, and your skin absorbs them quicker than even your tongue. That is very interesting. I'm still going to wash the same things that I would wash before and still not wash the same things I wouldn't wash before.
Examples.
So I always wash underwear, linen, swimwear, tops and linen. I was trying to think what I watched. And then depending on price point or where I purchased it, I'll decide whether I'll wash it before or not.
That's pretty, I'm with you on that a little. I'm with you on that a little bit.
Depending on where you purchased it.
I think it's
That's
a
not
price
shaming.
point.
Excuse me?
That's not shaming a little bit?
No, it's not shaming. It's using your common sense.
Okay. If you pay a lot for like a nice suit or a nice something, I'm assuming it's clean.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's my thinking. She probably has a deeper thought process.
All right. Beth from Facebook says, I wash most of my new clothes before wearing them, but I never wash dresses and sweaters. A sweater, I mean, that would have to be able to walk on its own before I wash it. Because I know I'm going to ruin it. So I'm just going to wear it until people start to look at me. Whenever you see the stink lines, I'm like, this goes right in the hamper. For me, I don't wash a lot. When it comes out of the package, I'm like, that's like a new baby being born. I'm not going to touch that. I'm going to let that ride.
You're going to wear it.
I'm going to have that new car smell on my body.
Oh boy. James from Facebook
Not
says,
for long.
not for long. I never wash anything before I wear it, but this has me rethinking that. I never have heard of this even. I haven't. I've got a James, I'm 100% with you. I didn't know you're supposed to do this. I think you go to public restrooms and you share the pretzels at the bar and the door handles. This is all going to end up in the wash anyway in some respect.
That just sounds like one afternoon for you. Pretzels, bar,
I just mean
bathrooms.
that if we get so hyper about it, I feel like everything we think will be.
I know. I think once you tell yourself you're going to get sick, you will.
Right. So to me, I've been fine, and underwear now. Sheets I always will, but I will wash underwear from.
That being said, the pretzels at the bar are disgusting.
You didn't know about underwear? No, girl, I didn't.
I feel
before
like
you wear them. Yes. But I get like Victoria's Secret, like.
I feel like women try on their underwear before they buy them, and men don't.
That's very true.
I do not try on underwear.
But there is that.
But then how do you know what size you wear?
You just guess.
Guess people do, but I would just wash them anyway because it's going on your most sensitive area.
I know, but I think people are trying things on.
Okay.
Wait, but do you wash swimwear?
Yes.
But you don't wash underwear?
No. I'm being honest, like I didn't even think about it.
Why do you wash swimwear?
Because people probably wear it,
people
stank
try
it up, and bring it back.
But don't you think they try on other things?
I don't.
Like men are just, they come in a 3-pack, it's sealed.
Yeah.
You know.
Still, have you worked in retail?
Yeah.
You worked in retail?
Yeah,
and
but not undies and bras.
No, see, you have to work in retail because you know people are creepy and they'll go around touching things.
Oh.
You don't want that.
I don't even know what's going on. Coming up on DBL, Vogue head honcho Anna Wintour is throwing major shade at one of the world's most famous women. We'll tell you who, and JoJo and Jordan from The Bachelorette are back with a new show and a new spin on their relationship. Don't miss that. Plus, JoJo has a special message for former Bachelor Ben Higgins.
JoJo.
Hey guys, Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending news for you right now, but it's time for Fast Blast, where I bring you all the news you need to know in under 2 minutes. Let's get that timer up. Here we go. We start with crazy video coming in from the East Coast right now. Millions of people are being slammed with rain, and it's causing major flooding and power outages. The flash flood watches are in effect from Knoxville all the way up to New England. Now, experts say if you're planning to travel in that part of the country by road or plane today, you're going to have major problems. Now to an important health alert we need to tell you about. A new study out from Harvard says we may need to rethink taking aspirin to prevent heart attacks or strokes. The reason? Researchers say for most people, the benefits don't outweigh the increased risk of stomach bleeding or other effects. Now, if you've had a heart attack or stroke, you should still take that low dose of aspirin, but the study found that 29 million people over the age of 40 were taking that daily aspirin even though there was no known heart disease. DBL Nation, it's important to tell you that no matter what this study says, you should always talk to your doctor before making any changes. Hey DBL Nation, remember that guy who scaled a 19-story building in Philadelphia during a fire last week? Turns out he wasn't trying to escape the flames. He was trying to scale up the building to get to his bedridden mother. Now, his name is Jermaine, and he tells a local news station that he got a call from his sister that his mom's building was on fire and that she was stuck. Now, Jermaine says he tried to enter the front door, but he was blocked by police. That's when his adrenaline took over and he started climbing the building and then scaled back down to get to his mother on the 15th floor.
Wow.
By the time he made it to her, he learned everything was okay and that the fire was contained. This is crazy. Jermaine says his mom was shocked at what he had done, but that she knows he'll always go above and beyond for her. Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. DBL Nation, you may be wondering why I'm singing this to you. It's because we can't play music on our stream. 4 months ago, none of us knew who rapper Lil Nas X was. Old Town Road has been on the top of the Billboard 100 chart for 16 years. Welcome back to DBL. Jojo Fletcher came in runner-up on Ben Higgins' season of The Bachelor, but found true love the next year as the Bachelorette with Jordan Rodgers, who's the younger brother of NFL quarterback Aaron Rodgers. Now, the couple is testing their relationship by fixing up rental properties in Cashpad. I sat down with them at Denver's Series Fest in today's DBL Spotlight. Hey, Jojo and Jordan, welcome to Daily Blast Live.
Thank you.
It is so nice to see you both, looking very gorgeous, I must say.
She picked it out for me. I can't pick out my own clothes.
We just came from the beach, so this isn't a full-time thing, but thank you. So tell me all about Cashpad. What is it all about? What's the deal? You've mentioned, you've been getting dirty, getting stuck in.
I've always done rentals and stuff, but Cashpad is really about the short-term rental market. And Jordan and I, we team up, we partner with homeowners.
And we're creating a business for them and for us.
So who's more handy?
I dragged him into this.
I didn't realize that in the fine print was free labor for the rest of my life. We like to jokingly say, I'm JoJo's construction therapist.
Oh my gosh, and it is so true. Okay, so right, I've got a picture of you guys on your projects, and I want you to tell me what's going on here.
Uh-oh.
What is happening in this moment?
So we're renovating a property, and the property came with a lot of character, a lot of charm, and there was these beautiful countertops in the kitchen. But in the back of my mind, I always felt like we needed to keep this piece.
But in the back of her mind, she didn't bother to share that to anybody or me, so the piece kind of found its way into the dumpster. So I jumped into the dumpster, and I ended up finding some of it left, but I tell you what, lost my balance, fell back onto a piece of wood that had multiple nails sticking up.
That is true. Listen, you cannot script that. So if anyone thinks there's any part of this show that is scripted,
It hurt.
that
was not scripted. I wouldn't have signed up for that.
You were like, this was not part of my contract.
Yeah.
Nope. And I've got a message for you.
For me?
For you.
Okay.
From former Bachelor Ben Higgins.
Oh.
So I'm looking at you like, please don't be upset with me.
Oh, I
for
love
reading
Ben.
this.
I love Ben.
So Ben's a very good friend of the show. He comes on Daily Blast Live all the time. He says, Jojo, you've always been a leader and a powerful force in the world. You'll be successful with anything that you touch, which I think is really
What a
sweet.
sweetheart.
Very
So
sweet.
do you have any words you'd like to give back to Ben?
Ben, thank you. You are amazing. You are a gentleman, and I really appreciate it.
We need to get together sometime.
And we need to get together sometime.
Yeah.
Congratulations, guys, on Cashpad. We're super excited. It'll be awesome, guys. I can't wait to see you in action.
Thank you.
You can watch Cashpad tonight on CNBC. We'll be right back.
Just talking about a recent break-in. No, I'm just kidding. We just be careful with your houses, lock your doors, be safe. Lock your doors. Oh, let's play this game.
Hide your kids.
Oh, remember that? What does TASER stand for?
Taser, something. Does it have the laser involved? No, there's no lasers.
I have no idea.
Tom Swift and his electric rifle.
Jeff,
it's a
do you wanna go to
1911 science
Topgolf?
fiction.
Where? When? Soon?
Y'all can make plans.
I like Topgolf.
Why don't we also get our
Topgolf's
dresses?
fun. Yeah. When? We'll talk about it later.
Zip code stands. What does zip code stand for? Zip.
Zone
Yes.
in process. Zone.
Very close.
Zone indicator prognosis.
Ooh, very close. Zone improvement plan.
For zip code?
Yeah. How do you think? What about those lip balms? EOS. Do you know what EOS stands for?
Emulsive masochism.
Close. It's evolution of smooth.
It was even an M.
MAC. Does anyone know what MAC stands for? The cosmetics company.
McDonald's?
Wait, see if Jeray knows.
What is it?
Makeup Artistry Cosmetics.
Oh, Makeup Artistry Cosmetics.
You are correct.
I got it.
Does anyone know what REI stands for?
REI?
I did know that at one point.
Rugged.
Out something indoors.
Exterior.
Yes.
Entertainment industry.
R-E-R.
Recreational equipment.
That's what I said.
I saw that. You know why? Because I think there's a T-shirt with it on there. I saw that somewhere, but I didn't know it.
And finally,
Ira won.
I'll leave you guys with H&M. Anyone?
people's names?
Historically masculine.
It's Hennis. It is.
and Maurice.
It's Hennis and Maurice. Yeah. They acquired hunting apparel and fishing equipment.
What was the first name?
Maurice and Hennis.
Oh, I said Harold.
Oh, you were close.
Oh, you got Maurice.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments, right, Erica?
Yes, this one's coming from Susanna, who says, Tori, I am shook right now. You got to wash that lingerie, girl.
Okay, I'm shook and shamed, and I will from now on. I didn't know. I really didn't.
But I feel like if you've made it this far, maybe it's working for you.
That's true.
There you go.
Maybe it's my lucky. No, I'll watch it. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
Here's what's coming up next on DBL.
Brad, Leo, the stars of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, turn up the glam on the red carpet. But who's the pop icon who really stole the show? Then, a groom texts his ex, thanking her for showing him how to love a day before his wedding. Was it a sweet move or uncool to his bride? And kids these days. Actress Bella Thorne says she's pansexual. DBL is getting hip with the times and teaching you what that means when we come back.
Tomorrow marks 50 years since the lunar landing. On July 20th, 1969, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin were the first humans to step foot on the moon. Most people can remember exactly where they were watching it all unfold. And today, we're looking into the future by talking to Carl Jones. Thank you for joining us today, Carl. So,
no problem. Thank you for having me.
Thanks. Now, we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of the moon landing, but what can we expect from NASA moving forward?
From NASA, the biggest things that are on the horizon are the launch of Americans from U.S. soil for the first time since the shuttle's been retired via the Boeing CST-100. And then after that, we set our sights on going to Mars, but the first stop is going to be Moon. And so we have the Artemis program and the Gateway program that are going to basically set the way for that, for us to go to Mars later on. So the Gateway program is basically going to be a launch point, the International Space Station, but not as big. And it's going to be basically a kind of a launch point. So we'll launch spacecraft from here like we normally do. They'll go to the Gateway, and then they'll take lunar landers from the Gateway down to the surface of the moon. And then later on, once we actually start exploring Mars, it'll be basically kind of an intergalactic, gas station of sorts as a stopping point before they go further. 50 years ago, our biggest goal was to just get to the moon and then bring them back home safely. So now we're trying to actually go to the moon and establish a sustainable environment there, get a base going, and then test a lot of technology that we currently don't understand in order to go to Mars or to go to Mars for a long duration space travel. Right now, we don't understand how the human body reacts or how we could, how astronauts would do in a long duration mission. So a lot of those things we can use on the moon first before we start doing that and start sending humans that far away.
If they had volunteers to go to Mars, would you be one of them?
Yes, absolutely. I've always wanted to go to Mars. Honestly, that has been a lifelong dream of mine.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
You think this hair just naturally stays like this?
DBL starts right now.
3, 2,
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. Let's get to it.
Yeah.
Still loving that intro. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood premiered last night in Los Angeles, and the stars were there. Leonardo DiCaprio, obviously, Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie, and new friends Brad and Leo posted for photos together. Oh, that was cute. And they were hearing reports that the two bonded over pottery and would stay up late doing arts and crafts together. Yes, you heard me right. Other stars hit the red carpet too, including singer Britney Spears. This was her red carpet debut with her boyfriend Sam Asghari.
Yeah.
All right. I thought when they said Leo, when I saw Leo in there, I was already assuming Leo like did some kind of review on there for our double jump.
Oh, Leo.
So I was like, Leo. I'm like, I don't remember that being in the prompter, and I was like, oh, Leonardo DiCaprio.
We go to our Leo. That's hilarious. It's supposed to be great. People have huge expectations. Tarantino's 9th film. I think it's the best of Hollywood, the best looking, the best. I think it should be fun. I'm a little worried about Britney. I think she looks a little nerve-wracking on that red carpet, and she just worries me.
I see. I think a lot of people feel the way you do.
Yeah, she just looks slightly uncomfortable. I don't want to I'm not trying to diagnose anything. I feel bad.
I think
it makes me sad for some reason.
Well, I mean, she's all right, but it's just a combation of what's going on her Instagram and things like that.
maybe
So I think people are worried, not making fun. Obviously.
Yeah, I don't mean it in any way that's harmful. Just that something seems off a bit.
Right.
She looks like a girl who's been famous and rich more than she hasn't been famous and rich, and she's just like, why?
Yeah, kind of like that.
Why? If I think I would kind of be the same way, like, who are you trying to impress anymore? And she doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, I know.
It's clear.
Yeah.
Are you going to screening tonight?
I am going to be there.
I am too,
I can't
buddy.
wait. That's right. Let's do this.
Boom. We'll let you guys know tomorrow.
Two-man crew review tomorrow. How about that?
Two-man crew. I like that.
Yeah,
Are
take
you
it
guys
back.
gonna dress up?
Probably just in regular clothes we usually wear.
Cool.
I have shorts and a t-shirt because I was invited 5 minutes ago.
You can be Vincent Vega because you're supposed to be anyone from a Tarantino movie. You remember when they're in shorts?
I have that Santa Cruz
me too.
t-shirt.
Well, maybe I'll dress the other way. Sam Jackson?
Yeah, but I don't know his character's name.
I'm Sam Jackson.
All right, there we go. Yeah, we don't want to be too stereotypical.
I love it.
We'll see how that works out.
That'd be cool.
All right, guys. Sylvester Stallone is opening up about the future of the Rocky series. Raquel Villanueva has news at the moment.
That's right, Jeff. Sylvester Stallone revealed in a new interview there are 2 Rocky projects in the works. One is a movie where he reprised his legendary character. In it, the boxing star meets a young street fighter who is not in the country legally. And there's talks of a TV prequel series, but the biggest revelation Stallone made is one shocking some of his fans. He does not own any of the Rockies franchise, even though he came up with the idea, wrote it, and starred in it. He says he's furious he can't pass the legacy on to his kids and feels like Hollywood robbed him of his own work.
Thanks, Raquel. They sure did, because if you ever listen to any, like Tony Robbins talks about it a lot because it's a motivational what happened to him. He wrote Rocky and then was offered all this money not to star in it. They just wanted to take the script. I forget the numbers. I think it was like $250,000 at that time. He wouldn't take it, was in dire straits, sold his dog. Okay. Then after he sold the movie, which was like $40,000 now with him attached,
right?
Because they thought it was never going to work, went and paid almost half that to get his dog back from some guy at the liquor store. That's how dedicated this guy was to starting Rocky. And I'm sure along with all those trials and tribulations, he gave away the rights to the movie.
Wow.
You know?
Okay, so I'm confused because Chuck, as in Chuck Wepner, is that really
that's the guy who claims to be the real life, in which Rocky was based.
Right.
Chuck Wepner, yes.
So did Sylvester Stallone write it based on that guy?
Right.
Yes.
Who also feels like he didn't get credit for Rocky.
Yeah, he said that. He said his life was the influence. He's a fighter from Jersey who's known for bleeding. He fought Ali pretty toughly as well. So yeah, it's interesting. But you see, and I'm surprised that there's no protections for people because it's all about leverage. It's not about fairness. So if I go to you and I have an idea for the next version of the internet, but I'm broke, you can just be like, I'll give you $5 to get out of my office. I'm just surprised that there are no protections in place to prevent what's happened to many artists, for many, I mean, cartoonists, the guys I know that that invented Batman.
How about the Gilligan's
were
Island
given, I
people?
think, $300.
Gilligan's Island had the no residuals. It's still on the air. They see nothing from that.
Right, it's sad.
How many protections do you know with people with no money versus people people who have millions of dollars.
Right.
There's no protection. You're flying solo on that one. All right, guys. Is the queen of fashion throwing major shade at the First Lady? In an interview, Vogue editor-in-chief Anna Wintour, I thought it was Chief. Hey, you learn something new every day. Avoids all questions about Melania Trump and her style. Instead, she talks about former First Lady Michelle Obama. Let's listen.
Melania put together a much more put together way. She did come to the UK and I think very consciously wanted to see herself as an ambassador for British fashion. Do you value that?
First Lady Michelle Obama really was so incredible in every decision she made about fashion. She was the best ambassador that this country could possibly have.
But she's not the First Lady now. So what about the one that you've got now?
And to me, she is the example that I admire.
Wow, she just railroads
The
that.
picture, which I know it's iconic with her with the glasses, doesn't really help the situation.
No, I mean,
there's the still of that. It was a little snarky. It was a little snarky.
I don't find it snarky. I find it very on brand. I mean, Anna Wintour is someone who has to audit her words very carefully, because if she says something that makes it seem like she's endorsing, then that also not only affects the fashion economy and revenue, but it could also put someone on that she doesn't necessarily feel needs to be put on. So if she said something positive, it would be an endorsement. If she said something negative, then that doesn't really help her in any way. So it's better to say nothing. But it's also a very strong thing to deny someone recognition. It's the way to really shut someone down regardless of what the situation is. So I feel like it's the strongest
condemnation almost?
Yeah, that you can really have.
No shade? That wasn't a little shade?
Well, there wasn't
some shade. That was a shot glass of shade.
There was a little shade.
And especially as a model coming from a Vogue, the Vogue in chief, Melania being a model, there was, I think, not even recognizing her as First Lady.
Did you need to throw that in chief thing back in my face?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And chief. No, in chief. But I think it was clear what she was saying, but I think you're absolutely right. She played it safe and she just said nothing. That's what your mom taught you. You have nothing nice to say.
That is, I do like.
You don't say anything.
Because I get what you're saying. Because if you do say something, you're going to get in trouble for saying something.
Yeah, it's a lose-lose.
If you just ignore it, it almost makes more of a statement.
Plus, the interview is that the interviewer is clearly probing her, and that's annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I get it. And
It's annoying, right?
If you like Barack and Michelle, you probably don't like Melania and Donald, and vice versa.
But I don't know if it's necessarily about a political thing. Like, no, because because she was a model, but not an Anna Wintour model. So by even talking about her in terms of fashion would be putting her on a pedestal she clearly doesn't feel she deserves. Right. And to be honest, Anna Wintour's been a lot more scathing than she was about Melania Trump. So she should be counting blessings at this point.
Let's move on. Right now, a woman's tweet is going viral. Check this out. She posted a text she got from her ex the day before his wedding. It reads in part, this is just in part, look how long that is. Thank you for being my first love. Thank you for always encouraging me. Thank you for keeping me out of trouble. He goes on to say, I know we were only kids when we dated, but you taught me what love is. My point in all of this is you are the reason why I know how to love someone. He should have went on to say, if you still want to get together, I have one day left.
Yeah.
That's exactly what
I'm
he was
staying
writing.
at the Hampton Inn, room 133.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is embarrassing to everybody involved. It's like, dude, man up. You clearly still have some feelings for this one. Whenever you say you taught me how to love and you're not talking to a chimp that you trained, then honestly, like this, I think this is embarrassing, to his future spouse.
Now he says my future spouse knows this, which is weird. But then he goes on to say, if you just read the whole thing, it's like
we don't have that kind of time.
I know, it's like your heart is amazing, and I think you deserve a spouse that'll treat you like the best kind of wife. You're so dependable, and I'm like, dude, slow your roll.
And why did you break
up? The brakes, yeah.
This is so bad for so many reasons. First of all, if his future wife knew that he was sending that to an ex-girlfriend the day before the wedding, she's boo-boo the fool too.
She did though.
Well, no,
right?
I'm saying that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Because if you're gonna go, he could have easily have said that a million years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Not the day before the wedding. And then the fact that he did it that way, he could have simplified it by a lot.
2 sentences enough.
By a lot.
Totally.
And then on top of it, I want to hear what those vows sounded like, because if it wasn't the length of Bohemian Rhapsody like this is, then there's a real problem. If that guy got up at that altar and simply said, I do, there should be a whole lot of explaining to do.
Interesting.
A whole lot of explaining to do.
I agree. I guarantee you his vows just probably say, hey, girl, let's do this. Like, nah.
Yeah, I don't like the way this is. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I'm not going there. All right, actress and singer Bella Thorne is opening up about her sexuality. She tells ABC that she is pansexual. And this is important. Not limited in sexual choice or regard to biological sex, gender, or gender identity. She explains it a little better. Let's listen to her.
I'm actually pansexual, and I didn't know that. Yep.
Okay.
And somebody explained to me really thoroughly what that is. And
explain that to me, because
I am pan. You like beings. You like what you like. Doesn't have to be a girl or a guy or, you know, he, she, a they, or this or that. It's literally you like personality. Like you just like a being.
And I applaud her for explaining that calmly, you know, because I, for one, I'll just admit, I'm confused about some of the terms. Pansexual, I didn't hear of. I'm new to this term. So I think having the conversation makes people uncomfortable when it shouldn't. I think we need to if people are becoming pansexual, we need to be understandable of what's going on. We need to know what's going on.
And I like what you're saying because language changes.
Yeah,
I mean, you think about the 30, 40 years ago, referring to Erica as an Afro-American woman or a Negro woman on TV was not offensive. Now it is. 30, 40 years ago, calling somebody queer was considered offensive. Now it isn't. So now when we're learning about these things, I think it's okay to be like, hey, I don't know what that is.
Right.
I got 5 minutes. Why don't we talk about it?
Yeah,
I think it's really cool.
Conversation is always the best way. When like a little kid comes over to my mom, like, what's a wheelchair? Why are you hurt? And the parents are like, no. She's like, no, that's the only way to discuss this. Like, let's have a conversation. So pansexual just means you like boys, girls, anyone in between. If they're gender fluid, if they're trans, it's a whole mixture, and she doesn't go based on any kind of gender at all whatsoever. So it's different than bisexual, which is man and female.
Well, also, you have to acknowledge the fact that this isn't a new concept. We're just putting a word to it, because people are being more open, whereas before it was considered deviant and it was behind the scenes, and now we know that people have been doing this for quite a long time, and now we have a word.
There we go. Treating people like Chipotle. I want everything.
Where does pan come from?
Pan means all.
Yeah.
Is that like Pan Am?
Pangea means like the okay, can't think of the word, but it's a panoply. Yes, it means the totality of something. Pan. It's like a Greek origin.
I feel like we all are worse off for hearing that.
Editor-in-chief is all I can handle for one day. That's all.
You don't have somebody yelling panoply at you?
All right, guys, coming up on DBL, we're going to blow your minds. Did you know what those holes in pasta utensils are? Or what about the little metal rivets on your jeans? We'll reveal the mind-blowing facts next. This is fun. What?
Jules and Vincent.
I know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What did
Jules.
Jules have on though?
Just a T-shirt.
I gotta Google. No, because I got my Santa Barbara T-shirt, but I mean, I'll wear the other thing.
You have a Santa Barbara
T-shirt? Oh, and that's just
the mayor of
that's what
Santa Barbara sent it for us.
Oh,
she's friends with Sam.
And athletic pants, shorts, and you're good to go. Same thing, but the two middle ones change, and then Jeff, ask one person every time.
Okay.
Al, Tori.
Tori, are you gonna cheat and get the answers beforehand?
You just can't stand how smart I am. I came up with two of these. And
That one was a shot in the dark.
No way. Shot in the dark. Why else would you have something lifted that's sharp near a window?
So you could adjust your head and.
But why would it come out all together? Is the point.
That was the last thing. I feel you.
I should stop saying. People say I should stop saying that.
You should definitely stop saying that.
God, I thought it was being kind. All right.
I think I could wear this because I think I probably have a blue.
Did your mom? You said your mom, because my mom used to give me like Christmas presents, and she gave me this thing. I think I still have it. One is like a ripper for your. It's like it comes like this, and you put the seatbelt in between. You could rip it up, and then one's like that little metal where you go like this against the glass,
I have the one to the
and
glass.
it pops.
Have you ever
But it's
talked
all
to
in
somebody
one.
that said that they use that in an accident?
Yeah, because
No.
if you're in water and you're going down slowly, apparently pressure is hard to get the window to open or even budge.
Or the door,
So
you
that
can't
thing will
push
break
it.
instantaneously. So I've heard one person. Well, just like ice pick it. Oh.
But see, I don't even know in the car where it is, so
It's
I'd be like, where's that thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think like
As the fish go
and then I'm
by.
thinking Tori be like, whoa! Tori saved my life.
Finally! So the headrest is detachable, so you could break open a window in case you're in I think an awkward.
I hope we don't have that one coming up.
I hope not either.
Well, if we do it like this is the first time you ever saw
Okay.
it. Let's see your acting skills. So
Okay.
You guys,
Steph was on that.
Welcome back to DBL. The internet is going crazy over everyday products with hidden features, like this little arrow on your gas gauge. Honestly, I just found this out like 2 or 3 years ago. Well, many people were surprised to learn that it's to let you know which side of the car to fill up your tank.
I cannot get over this.
Isn't that smart?
This one, I swear, I'm not lying. I just found it out like 2 years ago, and my mind was blown.
My mind is blown today.
Did
This
you
is
just
the
find
first
this
time
out?
Yes!
You have that
best.
big car.
Al, you know how often I drive.
She doesn't drive that
I forget.
That's true.
And then I'll drive around the gas station trying to get to the right side of the vehicle, but then I realize I'm on the same side that I was before.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
Now, Erica's mind's blown, so we're going to do a new segment right now called, get this, Mind Blown.
Yay!
All right, first take a look at our first product, okay? The metal rivets on your pants pocket. Al, what do you think those rivets are for?
All right. I think they maybe had like a practical, like if you needed to staple, put jeans together, like have one.
Like a button?
Yeah, almost like a male-female connection to make it stay together.
I don't know if I could get on board with this one. I usually got your back, buddy, but male-female connection?
That's how you talk about electronics.
Like you guys could button your jeans together?
There's a male and female component to all electronics.
Not jeans.
All right, I'm gonna stop talking. Erica.
All right, let's just get the answer. The metal rivets protect your pants from ripping at the weakest point.
Okay.
Thank you.
Huh.
In our wonderful Steve said he understands me.
I get it, but then, never mind. I was going to go somewhere else, but anyways. Up next is 6M, 9M, or 12M found on the back of makeup products.
That's if they're it's expired. That's like 6 months, 12 months, I think that's.
Oh, that makes sense.
I thought.
That makes sense. All right, this is the shelf life of the product after being opened 6, 9, or 12 months. Oh, that was good. Now it makes sense.
Okay, a little respect here, huh? Huh?
I was gonna.
He was about to give it to you. You blew it.
You lost.
Okay.
All right. Our next hidden feature are the lines on Solo cups. You know this one?
Oh,
I know this one.
Okay, so this is according to what type of beverage you're drinking, and it's the exact line of the pour.
Right, it's like wine, you go to a certain level, and a shot, there's a certain level. It's like an ounce and a quart, or an ounce and like pint.
quart.
And a pint, not a quart.
Wow. Tori has different Solo cups. All right, so
Explain your weekends.
Our measuring marks, the bottom line is 1 ounce, the next line is 5 ounces, and the top line is 12 ounces. Perfect for shots, wine, and beer.
Look at us.
Dude,
I know
what's
my
up?
liquor.
Look at us.
Really doing good, except for that first one, Al.
That was
really
a rough
doing
one.
good.
The male-female component.
There is a male-female component.
I get what you're saying.
Okay.
I get what you're saying. All right, Al, our final hidden feature, this one's for you. The hole in the middle of your pasta ladle.
I know the answer to this one, but I for years, for my entire life up until 2 hours ago, I thought that was where the water drained when you got the scoop to see if your noodles were ready.
That's what I would have said.
Right.
What is it, Tori?
I learned that it's instead of making an enormous amount of pasta, because you never know how much to make, it is a measuring stick for dry pasta. You put it through, and that's for 1 serving.
Okay, that's about 15 noodles there. That's who eats 15 noodles at one
Single
time.
serving size.
But who's gonna make one? That's very sad if you use this and you just boil 15 noodles for yourself. I'm just saying.
Now when I'm single,
You don't
gotta
have
make some
pasta by yourself. You do it for a family get together.
Well, then you make a bunch of those little ones.
No, you sure don't.
You've never had just pasta by yourself in sweatpants in front of the TV.
And I'm gonna make 15 noodles. You don't think I'm making some for tomorrow?
Good point.
You are the king of the leftovers.
love leftovers.
So I can
do.
see that not being
I
ideal
have
for
2
you.
different leftovers in the fridge right there. I eat them all the time. I don't know where I was going with that. All right. That was our first edition of Mind Blown.
Yay!
Ooh, we'll be right back.
DBL Nation. I have something new to tell you about. The Senate has passed a bill ensuring 9/11 victim funds will never run out of money. Now, this was a big issue a few weeks ago. If you remember, Jon Stewart and a first responder, Luis Alvarez, came to actually make sure this didn't happen, like it would never run out of money. And Luis actually died a few days later, so he made it his last effort to make sure everyone else that he knew would be protected. So during 9/11, when they were doing the cleanup of it, there were chemicals and toxins that were released as they were digging through the sites, as they were cleaning up, and it has made them sick throughout the years. And they want to make sure that if any medical costs incur, that they will be paid off. There were actually 2 senators which opposed it, which I thought it would just be complete, like it wouldn't have an issue. One was Mike Lee from Utah. He wanted it to be restricted to 10 years, so in 10 years they'd have to ask again. And Rand Paul just said no, to which Jon Stewart also was live for this news to say he does not agree with them at all. So what do you think, DBL Nation? Are you happy this passed? I want to know, and I will talk to you next break. See ya.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Budgetologist Felicia Jones is back in the studio, and we are talking investing in today's dollars and cents, presented by John Hancock. Felicia, always great to have you in studio. Thank you for coming back in.
Thank you for having me again.
Our first question is from Cass on Facebook. She writes, I'm in my 60s and I'm looking into other ways to invest outside of my retirement. How can I be smart about it, which is important? That's key.
Very important. It's very important. So when you want to get into investing outside of retirement, we're going to look at health savings accounts first. They're very exciting for me, at least I love them. They're tax deductible, tax deferred, and you can do tax-free withdrawals for medical expenses, and they're like a super IRA.
I love that.
Yeah, they're amazing. And so the next thing you can look at is low-cost exchange-traded funds. These are ETFs, and this is great for newbie investors and low cost of entry, and they're very tax efficient when it comes to gains.
So that would be something I could look into.
Yes, you could definitely start looking into ETFs. And then, of course, there are tons of investment apps out there. There are apps that will help you get educated about investing for the first time. They'll round up your change, or you could do automatic withdrawals right into investment accounts.
Really? Yes. I know a lot of people get weary about apps on their phone. Are there any that you could suggest for them?
I mean, we have so many of them, but you can always start with Acorn. That's where you get a lot of the education. And then you have Stash, which is also great for newbies and self-employed, so that you can start an IRA.
I love that. I love that for me, my family. I'm sure DBL Nation loves it as well. Felicia, thanks for stopping by. Always a pleasure.
All right, thank you for having me.
All right, guys. To submit your financial questions for the next Dollars and Cents, please email askmrsjones@dailyblastlive.com. And for info about life insurance and retirement planning, call John Hancock at 1-800-978-0663. We'll be right back.
Hey Beauty Blasters, welcome back to another awesome episode of Beauty Blast. I'm Jeray for the Slay, and this is my beautiful model Lex. Today, we're talking a little bit more about red light beauty tips. Now, previously, I showed you guys how to get this beautiful slaying pink eye look with just using a lipstick. I'm gonna use the same lipstick, and we're actually gonna try out for a little blush as well. Y'all ready? Well, you better get ready. All right, guys. Now, you're gonna take a little bit of your lipstick and you're gonna put it right onto your palm, actually. This is kind of different, I know, but stay with me. Lex, you mind holding that for me, girl? Thank you. Now, you're gonna tap your palms together, and this is going to actually be your applicator, right? Take it right onto the apples of the cheek and lightly press right onto the cheekbones. This is a great way to get a soft amount of color directly onto the cheekbone with a beautiful payoff, okay? Now we're gonna do the same thing. I'll show you guys one more time. Don't get too crazy, all right? Watch carefully. We're gonna tap right into the cheekbone using our palm. I'll use my other palm just to give it a little bit more magic in there. There we go, Lex. I love you, girl. We're gonna make sure you look extra flossy. There we go, queen. And that is such a beautiful and quick way to go ahead and capture a look with just using a single lipstick. Now, if we really want to get a little crazy with it, we can always take that same lipstick once again and actually put it on the lips now. So I'm gonna take a little bit on a brush here, swipe it right on over. Ooh, yes, queen. You look like you're about to go right on out to EDC Las Vegas, honey, and go ahead and twirl her life away. Ooh. So cute. Now you guys, don't be afraid to try this with other lipsticks. You can use CoverGirl, Maybelline, NYX, whatever it may be at home. Find that one good old lipstick that your grandma gave to you and you haven't used since 1996. I swear it's gonna come in handy for you today. All right guys, that's gonna be all for us this time. Make sure you check out our next Beauty Blast to see if stashes are coming back. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments, right, Tori?
We sure do. Margot wrote, you eat meat, drink wine, and hard liquor, yet you're worried about the harmful chemicals in your clothes because of cancer? LOL.
Who is that directed towards?
I don't know. But obviously not me, because I don't wash. No, I'm just saying. And a lot of people said they thought it was illegal to try on women's underwear. That's what I thought, too. That's why I wasn't washing.
Just like people vote for Trump, they'll never say it. They try on women's underwear. We'll see you guys tomorrow.